Please welcome tonight's honorary captains. For Notre Dame, Jerome Bettis. And for Ohio State, Archie Griffin, alongside team captains for both teams. Also joining us for tonight's coin toss, on the day in which the country annually pays tribute to the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., please welcome the youngest daughter of Dr. Martin and Mrs. Coretta Scott King and the CEO of the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change, Dr. Bernice A. King.
Welcome to the College Football Playoff National Championship. Congratulations to both teams on your excellent seasons. I'm Steve Marlowe. I'll be your referee. Brent Soule will be your umpire, and we're from the Southeastern Conference. The coin today, heads, will be the CFP logo. Tails will be the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Ohio State, you will call the toss.
Tails.
What did he call?
Tails.
He called tails. If I drop it, we do it again. And it is tails. So you've won the toss. You can defer. You want to receive. Which way do you want to go? Put your back to that goal line. Ohio State won the toss and elects to defer. Notre Dame will receive to start the first half.
Great to have both Holly Rowe and Molly McGrath with us on the field. Molly's on the Fighting Irish side with Marcus Freeman.
Coach, you always tell your team to be the aggressor and attack. When will you know that the aggression is there tonight?
We got to start when the foot hits the ball. I just told him in the locker room, I said, Vegas got half of it right. I said, we're not underdogs, but we're some dogs. And real dogs hunt, so it's time to go.
All right, thanks. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
And Notre Dame's leading rusher, Jeremiah Love, has been playing through a right knee injury. He told us this is the healthiest he's felt all postseason. He now trusts that knee when he's cutting and changing direction, and said in order to have success tonight, he'll have to run hard, break a few tackles, and he may even hurdle a defender or two. Now let's go to Holly.
Well, here with Coach Day, and Coach, you've asked your players all week to finish the mission. What will be required to do that tonight?
Start fast. You know, it's going to be a fight. We got to come out swinging and swing for 60 minutes. We start on defense here. Got to stop. Third downs are like gold in this game, so we're going to start this thing the right way.
Thank you, Coach. And for JT Tuimoloau, he is the most important edge rusher for Ohio State. He had an ankle injury coming in the last game. I watched his warm-ups. He looked ferocious, coming off the edge with speed and suddenness. Good luck to the new left tackle for Notre Dame tonight.
Both offensive lines will have their hands full. Jaden Fielding to boot it away for the Buckeyes. Jaden Harrison, who returned to kickoff 98 yards in the Sugar Bowl against Georgia, waits at the goal line. Ryan Day said, come out swinging. We'll have to wait a minute or two for the offense to get out here. The defense has been aggressive, and a big part of their fast starts, they've been shutting people down. Since the loss to NIU, Leonard has taken care of the football, been extremely efficient. Notice the 15 rushing touchdowns, an Irish record for quarterbacks. Big part tonight, too.
Yeah, big part. Quarterback run game really can equalize this game if they can get him going. I expect 15, maybe 20 times that he might run the football if the game goes, very importantly, kind of that flow and pace that Notre Dame can control. It's important that the quarterback not only throw it, but his legs got to be a factor.
Jeremiah Love motions back in. And the first play is a carry to Love, who is going to be met and slammed down for a loss by Tuimoloau. He's been a menace in the CFP to opposing offenses.
No doubt about it. Let's look quick at the impact players. Jeremiah Love, we talked about it, number 4 out of the backfield. Jaden Greathouse has got to win when he's left one-on-one. Sawyer, we talked all week about, and Caleb Downs. What an addition he has been. The leader on the back end, number 2 for the Buckeyes.
Behind the sticks, quickly. This is exactly what Marcus Freeman hoped to avoid in this opening series. It's a design run. Leonard able to plow forward and get most of those yards he needs to set up a third and manageable. Styles and a hand cut combined on the stop.
And there's the changes with this offensive line. Amazing story with Charles Jagusah, what he's been able to do. It's going to be the starting left tackle when camp broke, but Torah Peck was out the entire year until he stepped in at right guard last week for Rocco Spindler and did a great job. Now he goes back to left tackle in for Anthony Knapp, who's out.
Again, it's a run on third down, and Leonard able to move the sticks and get this drive going before Tyleik Williams made the stop. The bigger the game, the more they lean on QB run, right?
That's what I'm saying. 15, 20 times, it sounds crazy, but that's what it's going to have to be. You already see a couple, two critical runs early. That's a design quarterback counter to just get him running downhill into that defense.
220 pounds and has speed that catches most opposing defenses off guard. He looks quick on tape. He looks quicker on the field.
Yeah, and bigger at 6'4", 220. Combination.
Looking for his first pass attempt of the night. Zips it across the middle. Sidearm delivery is off the mark, trying to find Chris Mitchell.
One thing that stood out there on a 1st and 10, a pass attempt, he wanted to get that ball quickly out to the tight end to his left, but Lathan Ransom completely took that away. So had time to work through his progressions, came all the way back to the right. His 4th option, Chris Mitchell, and just started to hurry his feet there because he was taking so much time. But the impressive thing was the Notre Dame offensive line giving him time.
Leonard changing things up. Play clock at 5. Quick release in the slot, and that time Mitchell is open, makes the catch, picks up about 9 before Denzel Burke makes the stop, and it's 3rd. Oh, they're going to initially signal.
Yeah, they gave him the first down.
Okay.
Yeah, the extra effort there gets him the first down. Good job again. Boy, Riley Leonard has really done a nice job of settling in here early and picking up a couple first downs. Great pass there. Read the middle linebacker, went to his left, came back and found the slant to the right.
With their first down throw, Love in the flat. Doesn't take much to get him loose. Gets blocks on the edge. Cody Simon makes the stop, but the Irish are clicking now.
Yeah, doing a nice job here. They're mixing up. Mike Denbrock is one of the better offensive coordinators. He's been around and called a lot of big games. How about he comes to Notre Dame from LSU, where he had Jaden Daniels the last couple of years. And I'm not comparing Riley Leonard, obviously, to Jaden Daniels, but I am comparing as far as the skill set, the ability to improvise and use his legs and utilize athletic quarterbacks and how to attack defenses.
And lots of pre-snap shifting by the Irish offense. And Leonard on 2nd down. Again, just uses the legs. Tyleik Williams drives him back. They'll spot him a little bit short at the 45 of the Buckeyes.
How about the pacing? You know, this is very deliberate. You talked about Ohio State wants to attack. Clearly, Notre Dame, after they picked up that first down, they put their foot on the gas. They wanted to up-tempo, put Ohio State, who's had such a great college football playoff these last 3 games, get them on their heels. How do you do that? You pick up the tempo. You come at them fast. The snap counts fast. Here's the first time they've slowed down a bit.
Jadarian Price joining Love in the backfield. And it's Love on the handoff. Price trying to set a block. The Buckeyes fly to his direction and knock him down behind the line. It was Cody Simon, the leader, the heartbeat of that defense, joined by Kenyatta Jackson.
Third down and short. Just watch the defense flow to the football. I mean, look how fast they're getting downhill. They just outnumber them. You don't have enough bodies out there. They do a good job of setting the edge. Nowhere for Jeremiah Love to go.
Offense on the field on 4th down, so Marcus Freeman, typically aggressive in these situations, trusting his O-line to pick up a yard. Leonard again. They could see it coming, but they couldn't stop it. It's another 1st down for the Irish quarterback on the ground.
You're exactly right, Chris. You know it's coming. We talked about it all in the open. Quarterback run game, and he gets behind a really good block there on the right side. Wagner, the right tackle. Spindler, who's playing on a gimpy ankle. But they give him enough of a surge there on an obvious run on 4th and short, and they pick it up.
Yeah, and the burst just quick enough. Tumolo had it sniffed out. Couldn't get there in time. Leonard trying to make something happen on the move. Scanning, throws over the middle, and the catch is made for a 1st down by Eli Raridan, one of the 2 tight ends we'll see involved in the pass game tonight.
Well, watch him right here. He came in motion. What's impressive to me is his quarterback's going to improvise. Now he's got to find the soft spot. That's a really good job by a tight end that they tell us has a huge upside, but hasn't made a lot of plays. Only 9 receptions coming into this game. But how about the job he does there is settling into that soft spot when the quarterback creates.
So the 11th play of this opening drive for Notre Dame, already taken 5.5 minutes. And there's a misfire there again. Tried to find Chris Mitchell coming back to the ball.
It's a good time. It's been going so fast. It's a good time to just catch our breath and just say how impressed I am with Riley Leonard and just the composure, the command of the plan that they came in with. You know, he's got a look in his eye. This guy is a competitive athlete. Great high school basketball player. Probably could have gone on and played college. But in this opening drive, converting once on 3rd, converting on 4th, but more importantly, just looks really comfortable with the plan.
Running left, Price breaks a tackle. Big stiff arm against the All-American Caleb Downs, drives him down to the ground. They'll spot him inside the 20, just short of the marker.
Well, the left tackle, who we just talked about, hasn't played left tackle all year. You imagine that? You haven't played all year and you come into the national championship to play left tackle? What a job he does of making a key block there. There's the connected cam from AT&T. Comes up just short, but a heck of a job opening that up on the left side. And good eyes and vision there from Price.
What a one-on-one battle. He just took the arm and slammed Downs' head then into the field. 3rd and 1. Again, Leonard with the keeper, and yet again moves the sticks with little help as they drive the pile down inside the 15.
That's an offensive line. Evans got behind. Those are the kind of plays that really can ignite a team. When you see a short yardage play, you get a push, and then watch the quarterback never stop moving his legs right in the middle. Look at those legs. You get Evans right there. He's pushing Jack Sawyer. It's an attitude play right there from Notre Dame's offense.
Love the left side. We talked about it in all 3 Ohio State playoff games, how tough it is to score in the red zone. How stout they are, especially when you get close to the goal line.
Yeah.
The Irish do here.
Yeah, see what they come up with. Mike Denbrock cannot be any happier. The whole key tonight was them staying on schedule. They're one of the worst in the country at 3rd and 7+. They've been averaging so far 3rd and 2 on this opening drive, so they're staying on schedule, making it tough for the Ohio State defense to know what's coming, whether it's a run or a throw from Leonard.
They've consumed half the quarter. 15th play of the drive. Leonard thought about throwing and is going to be shoved out of bounds down near the 7 by Downs. It'll be 3rd down.
At first I looked down there, I thought, how did he get to the edge? Ohio State lost contain, and Jack Sawyer with a stunt, a twist to the inside, so they lost the edge. And against an athletic quarterback, they really haven't faced anybody the caliber of Riley Leonard who can create. They'll probably have to make some adjustments, but that time Sawyer, just with a move to the inside, made it easy. Not a design play. He just saw it, felt it, and with that experience, picked up big yards.
Need 3 on this 3rd down. Leonard, keeper, slipped as he made the cut, dives, still gets near the marker before Caleb Downs stopped him. It's going to be 4th down again.
This is Caleb Downs, basically in a nutshell, what he's meant to the Ohio State defense. Crack block right there, shakes it, and makes the tackle. What a job there by number 2 in white.
Tell you what, Leonard has burned a tremendous amount of fuel on this drive. You saw he was kind of gassed before that last play. Takes a big shot. I mean, slow to get up.
Let's look at this. Talking about almost a 9-minute drive to start the game. What's going to happen here?
Does he have one more 4th down conversion in him? They're going to try to run it. He does. Slams forward. What an opening statement by Notre Dame. They're on the doorstep here with a 1st and goal.
They keep going to that right side when they get to these short yardage situations. Rocco Spindler, 50. Emil Wagner, the right tackle. 2 great, watch 50 and 59. Some movement from Ohio State. They handle it. The pulling guard picks it up.
And they could consider a timeout here, by the way. Leonard, you could see he is really on his last legs, it appears, in this opening drive.
I said 15 to 20 carries on the game. He's got 8 already in the opening drive.
1st down, make it 9, touchdown Notre Dame! Leonard has to dig deep right away, but the Irish draw first blood. We've seen a lot of drives. That was special.
That was incredible. Boy, Notre Dame's offensive line. We saw the right side, and now, again, Joggy saw the left tackle, hasn't played all year. Watch him. And it's the guy that was supposed to start, tore a pec in there, just throwing guys around, opens that up, and Notre Dame finishes that opening drive with a touchdown after 18 plays in 75 yards in over 9 minutes.
9:45 to be exact. Irish fans have to be elated at what they've seen, but mindful it's a 60-minute game. Get some attention for number 13 over there. We're going to see this explosive Ohio State offense. The Buckeyes are behind in a playoff game for the first time this year.
Back here at the national championship, and Riley Leonard was so gassed after that touchdown run, he immediately ran to the sideline and threw up and then stumbled to the bench area. 9 carries in that first offensive possession, and he told us he was going to leave his blood, sweat, and tears on the field and do everything that he could to get a win here today, guys.
You can see that.
He said, I landed on the ball on one of those plays. That's why he's maybe gasping for air to catch his breath. What guts. We kind of felt it there in the middle of that drive, how prepared he looked, how calm he looked, how in the moment he looked, and could not have dreamed of a better opening drive if you're a Notre Dame fan.
Quarterback accounting for 65 of the 75 yards on the drive, ran for 34 yards, a bunch of first downs and a touchdown, passed for 31 yards. Ohio State's offense has waited a while. Can they answer? Goodyear providing the aerial coverage, the best seat in the house since 1925. Happy 100th anniversary to the Goodyear blimp. Buckeyes first possession straight ahead.
The CFP National Championship is presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. And in part by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Gatorade. It fuels the best because it is the best. And Allstate. You're in good hands.
Freeman's first ever regular season game as Notre Dame head coach was back in the Horseshoe where he played. And, of course, that gut-wrenching loss a year ago in South Bend.
And he went back this week and showed a lot of the players played in those 2 games and get them to believe, hey, guys, we were right there in Columbus last year. Just a play here or there in both games. Just to get them to understand how real it can be.
Ryan Day's team trailed in the regular season 8 times, but in the CFP, they've been throwing the haymakers early and playing from the lead. So different position here. Finally getting the football first, almost 10 minutes into the quarter. Hand off to Henderson, makes a cut. Trevion Henderson had an electric screen pass against Texas. It was a big moment in that game. Will Howard, 43 starts. What he's done in the CFP is spectacular. Taking care of the football. Did have a pick against Texas, but he's been efficient.
Notre Dame plays a lot of man-to-man coverage. Texas last week opted to play a lot of zone against Jeremiah Smith and company.
Smith and Abuka both off to the right side. Instead, it's a handoff to Henderson, who dances around and waits too long as Jack Kaiser, the 6th year Notre Dame linebacker, closes him down. One of your impact players when Ohio State's got the ball.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith, obviously. Trevion Henderson, I think he has a chance, if he can get out in space, to have a big night for Ohio State. Jack Kaiser, one of the most experienced college football players we've ever covered. The leader and communicator, 24 in the middle of that defense, and on the back, you'll see a lot of great players. Christian Gray, when left on an island, got to hold up along with Leonard Moore, the 2 corners.
Buckeyes need 5 to get this drive going. Irish elite on 3rd down. Pressure comes. Howard gets the ball out. There is Jeremiah Smith. Makes the catch. It's 2 freshman All-Americans, Smith and Leonard Moore, number 50 for Notre Dame. Might be matched up a lot tonight.
There you go. Man-to-man on 3rd down. Notre Dame's been outstanding. And by the way, Moore is a big corner. He's 6'2", 191 pounds. You could see how tight the coverage was. It took that extra effort right there for Smith to get across that 1st down marker.
Round Rock, Texas is where Moore comes from. Long arm guy. Smith said, I'm ready to put on a show. He was happy to be a good teammate and free up space for others against Texas, but he expects to have a big night here. He's running down the middle. Howard was looking short, and he found G. Scott, the tight end, who bounces off a tackle and gets out across the 40. Howard Cross made the stop. Ohio State's offensive line has been a story. Seth McLaughlin, their All-American center, goes out. Carson Hinsman steps in. Donovan Jackson goes from elite guard to brand new tackle, and he's played well out there.
Yeah, he has moved over there because of the injuries. Josh Simmons had to kick out from an All-American spot, like you said, at guard, and has really done a nice job of holding up there at left tackle. Notre Dame got pressure on the right side on that last throw from R.J. Oben.
Low snap, Henderson with a burst, breaks a tackle. Trevion Henderson has the edge and is finally going to be driven out of bounds. That's Xavier Watts, the All-American safety, who made the stop. But the Buckeyes are cooking. They pick up 19.
One of the things Notre Dame likes to do is shoot their linebackers, but watch the pickup here by Montgomery. Does a nice job. The left guard picks it, realizes it, able to just kind of shove him out of the way. And there again is Trevion Henderson with the speed and the vision. Is so dangerous when he gets into that second level of the defense.
Henderson out. 5 receivers in the pattern. They pitch it to the edge. And this is Quinshon Judkins, fellow running back, behind some blockers, makes a play to the 25. Picked up 15 more.
Well, they lined up. A lot of times they'll motion out to get Judkins out there. This time they just line up in this bunch formation with a couple tight ends out in front. And now you're taking an elite ball carrier, just flipping it out there, kind of an extension of your run game with a couple blocks in front of him. Makes it tough on Jack Kaiser to make that tackle in the open field.
Judkins again out to the far right, outside of where Smith is lined up.
And move him out there, see how the Notre Dame defense
now
does.
They snap it to Smith, who came around, and the Irish were all over it. Xavier Watts erased it, drops him for a 5-yard loss.
Interesting how slow he came in motion. Notre Dame not fooled at all. It's almost like it's a decoy, like he's just working his way across, and then they snap it right to him. A little bit dangerous. He's able to field that snap, but there's Watts. Been doing it all year for this Notre Dame defense. He and Clark are able to come up and make the play.
It did look awkward. He barely held on to that snap when he was in motion there. So behind the sticks on 2nd down, Howard has lots of space and flips it on the move, and that's Emeka Abuka, who was brilliant against Texas with the Longhorns all focused on Smith.
This is one the play that Chip Kelly loves, Ryan Day loves, levels concept. This is a second level. Watch how he works back to the football. Really good job. Put Jack Kaiser, who's an outstanding run defender as a middle linebacker, but not as good as in being in coverage. Gets lost a bit that time. Good job at getting the ball behind him to Emeka Egbuka.
Need 3 on third. Howard keeping all the way. Both quarterbacks can move the 6 on third down when required. Howard, a big 235-pounder, makes it easily. Well, that is the first quarter. Notre Dame takes it on a marathon march. Buckeyes answer. They're down in the red zone. End of the first quarter in Atlanta. You're watching the College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T. Except for the second quarter here in Atlanta, hosting the championship game for the second time in the playoff era. It's presented by AT&T. Coming up, we're going to have a special look at the Marvel Studios' Captain America Brave New World in theaters Valentine's Day. Meanwhile, Buckeyes on this opening drive trying to answer the early Irish touchdown in the red zone. Two tight ends in the game. More to the left side. Judkins makes a cut. Nice little move. He made something out of not much at the look of it at the beginning. Jalen Sneed makes the stop.
Ohio State goes with that big look of those two tight ends. I think they feel that they've got an advantage in this run game by trying to overpower a smaller but athletic defensive front from Notre Dame. With Riley Mills out, Gabriel Rubio, 97, is in there. Howard Cross, only about 285 pounds. So Ohio State will try to lean on the interior of that Notre Dame defensive front. Heinisch in there now, 41. He's another guy, 280 pounds.
Second and 5, play fake. Howard flips it. Smith's got it, and the freshman just waltzes in as the Buckeyes score to answer the Irish. They've scored a touchdown on their opening possession. All 4 playoff games now. 11 plays, 75 yards, and a quick 6:05.
Chris, watch this reaction from Gray right here. He sees something right away. He needs help. He's trying to get Notre Dame's attention, and what a job of designing this play. You move Jeremiah Smith, and you come back to him. Notre Dame completely loses him, but it happened early, pre-snap, where Gray recognized they were out in the wrong call defensively, could not make the adjustment, and Ohio State makes them pay for it. What an answer from the Buckeyes.
AT&T clicker showing you some of the creativity in the red zone of Chip Kelly, former Oregon head coach. Ray spotted it, but they couldn't do anything about it. So Ohio State gets even here. First minute of the second quarter. What a start to this heavyweight collision for the championship.
Well, Riley Leonard in this opening drive carried it 9 times. It wasn't just 9 times. It was a lot of short yardage. There's the first conversion on 3rd and 3, a 4th down. Here's another 3rd and 3. Look at that line push. Look at his leg drive. They continue to push, gain momentum. Quarterback counter on 4th and 1. Another 1st down. And then eventually able to get into the end zone for a touchdown to cap off a very long drive there.
Howard answers. He was 5 for 5, 46 and a touchdown, had a 5-yard run himself for 1st down. Good news is for Notre Dame fans is that Leonard's had about 22 minutes of actual time to recharge the batteries, Kirk, after that opening drive, because it definitely took a lot out of him. Second Notre Dame possession is coming up. Stay tuned now for a special look at Marvel Studios' Captain America Brave New World in theaters February 14th. 7 apiece as both teams open with 75-yard touchdown drives. Irish had that incredible march behind Leonard, who was spend the time since then recovering as Howard sits on the bench. Here's the second possession for Notre Dame.
I think the big question is the adjustments from Ohio State and also the adjustments from Notre Dame. Riley Leonard's not going to carry it 9 times every series, right? So what adjustments, what answers can they find besides QB run?
Looking to throw on first down, and incomplete, inaccurate throw across the middle there was Bo Collins, but pressure was closing in. Ollie?
Well, guys, the Ohio State defensive front was upset after what they allowed on that first long drive. Larry Johnson, their great defensive line coach, was ripping them. Get back to what we planned. Get back to what we know. After that, Jack Sawyer came out, met the offense as they ran off the field, and he's like, guys, we've got you now. They're trying to get it together.
Yeah, very few teams have successfully challenged the defensive front the way the Irish did in that first possession. It was a false start.
Before the snap, false start, offense number 5. 5-yard penalty, second down.
As inspiring as that opening drive was in many ways, I think you're right, Kirk. That can't be a sustainable strategy, so they're going to have to get the pass game going.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean you have to air it out. It means you're throwing to the tight ends. You know, you find matchups, the backs. We saw what Anais Williams did against Penn State in the second half, so they want to run the ball, but obviously they're going to have to be able to throw it. They got to find matchups they can win.
Mitchell Evans, the tight end, goes over to the slot. Leonard is under immediate pressure trying to escape and create on the move. Complete on the sidelines. A flag is down. Collins made the catch, but it's back in the area which suggests might be a hold. Cody Simon applying heavy pressure.
And good job by Ohio State creating some confusion with that late blitz from Simon. The offensive line turned one way and the pressure came the other.
Offense number 56, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Which Jagasaw, you said, was a mauler, impressive in that opening drive, guilty of the hold here.
Yeah, I think the hold came in because he was able to keep that play alive and get out and scramble, and he's just trying to protect the edge, but the confusion started up front in the middle. The center, Coogan, and Trouth, the left guard.
Brad Williams, who sold it very well.
Yeah, Simon just came free right up the middle.
Buckeye faithful on their feet, making noise on 2nd and 25 as they hand it off to Price, and he goes nowhere. Sonny Styles closed him down. Very different possession for the Irish this time. It's going to be 3rd and 23.
Tuimolo out there, really good job. What a physical battle with he and Jagasaw on the Notre Dame offensive left side. Boy, he just stoned him, pushed him back into the backfield. Notre Dame trying to run a counter play. There's nowhere to pull around.
Aeneas Williams is the back in this 3rd and forever. Buckeyes drop 8 in coverage and still get pressure. Leonard has to get it out, and that's Mitchell Evans, the tight end, the outlet, who stopped at the 20 by Igbonosin, and the Buckeye defense gets a quick stop. Jack Sawyer, part of that 3-man rush, he hurried the quarterback.
Yeah, he went right around Emil Wagner up here at the top there. Yeah, it's what a luxury when you can rush 3 on 3rd down and long and get that kind of pressure. Again, Notre Dame has to rely on Riley Leonard recognizing that. Athletic ability, steps up and gets that ball out just to convert the pass.
James Rendell, one of 2 Aussie punters in the game. They're good buddies. Set to kick it away, and Caleb Downs, athletic safety, is the returner at the 40. Rendell on the move, drives Downs back inside the 35. That's a good punt of 46 yards. There is a flag down, so we'll check that first. Well, the adjustments that Ohio State made, the stern talking to from Coach Larry Johnson, and I think also, frankly, the fatigue, the Notre Dame offense, they were behind the sticks early.
Yeah, you get behind.
Never looked convincing in that possession.
No, the first drive was Notre Dame football, being positive on 1st and 10, getting to 3rd and short. They're just not an offense built this year to get behind the sticks.
Holding, receiving team, It's a 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick, first down.
So that'll make it about a net 56. They'll back the Irish up, and that's a field position flip that Marcus Freeman will be happy with. Jeremiah Smith found the end zone in Ohio State's first possession. Buckeyes back to work on O when you come back. Appreciate the work of Caesar, the All-State bus driver. A home game in Atlanta. What's your good hands play?
Well, let's go back to the Ohio State-Texas game. How much zone coverage, and how did Jeremiah Smith not make as many plays? One reception and just 3 yards. You can see right there, a couple defenders in his way. Will Howard here getting a little bit impatient, wanted to force the ball into Jeremiah Smith. Texas again, zone coverage. Linebacker sinks, makes the play. Interesting enough, opening drive, Notre Dame played man-to-man coverage only twice. This is a team that leads the nation in man coverage. They played it twice, once on a conversion on third down, and the other on the touchdown to Jeremiah Smith.
This is Ibuka on the end around, stiff arm, and the receiver gets involved in the running game, and a big gain out to the 37 before Drake Bowen got him.
You know, when the quarterback is under center and you go jet sweep, it hits so fast, and there's just not a chance to react for the defense. That time he was able to get around the edge of the defense and forced Xavier Watts to make that play. And I'll tell you what, that's a tough thing to do. Emeka Egbuka shook him there to pick up first down yardage.
8th time he's carried it. That's his longest gain of the season. Play fake on first down. Howard looking down the middle and lobs it complete. Carnell Tate, another receiver that had a big game against the Longhorns with the focus on Smith.
Again, it's man-to-man coverage. You got to be able to win. You got to be able to separate. Tate right there uses a little bit of a pick at the line of scrimmage, stacked up to be able to pull away from Gray. Right there, got behind Emeka Egbuka. Tough to the corner, Gray to stay with him. Another example of man-to-man coverage, and the Buckeyes having a man beater.
Irish shift and bring pressure. Henderson dodges traffic in the backfield, breaks a couple tackles to make it a positive gain. Picked up 2. Irish coming downhill quickly that time.
Yeah, they did a nice job of really doing a good job of camouflaging that and waiting until the last moment.
Billy Amoasa is a great athlete, isn't he? A freshman.
Yeah, that's right. You can see he's out there, comes in late, does a good job of not tipping it. But how about the work of Trevion Henderson? Somehow, instead of a -4, he picks up a few yards.
Howard again, pitches. Ibuka came back to the football, had to retreat a little bit, and Jordan Clark dropped him right there, short gain, so a 3rd and 5 ahead.
What a luxury from Notre Dame. Jordan Clark, the transfer from Arizona State, has done such a nice job when they go to 5 and even 6 defensive backs. Number 1 is out there. It allows him to play a lot of man coverage there on that slot. That time he stayed tight there with Emeka.
Irish 2 for 2 converting in their first possession. Excuse me, the Buckeyes. Howard has plenty of time, also has some space, and takes off. Gets downhill in a hurry and scrambles for a gain to the 32.
And this is what happens when you play man-to-man coverage. Watch the defense take off. Everybody's got a man. Everybody's got their back turned to the quarterback. Nobody is spying him. Good job of recognizing that by Will Howard. He knows they're a man-to-man team, and if they're not going to spy him, Will Howard, as big as he is, at 6'4", 6'5", about 235 pounds, he's proven that he's a threat with his legs too, and a nice job of picking up the first down.
He's run for 7 touchdowns this season. Very effective runner, especially nearer the goal line. Wide open, Ibuka, easy access. Hit hard and driven out of bounds. Christian Gray delivered a shot, but it's a first down.
They're trying to mix it up, get Ohio State out of the rhythm, blitz, but instead of playing man-to-man, the reason there's that cushion, now they're sitting back and playing zone. What's important is how he finishes this. Boom! Takes Gray and drives him back 4 yards. In the same way Riley Leonard had that short yardage and he just kept kind of pushing the pile. You go through a defensive back like that as a receiver, boy, that can fire up your sidelines and your team.
That's a milestone catch for Ibuka. 202 is the new Ohio State career receptions record. All the great wideouts that they've had, all the elite players you see playing on Sundays, that's a pretty coveted record for a guy who's, you know, been sometimes in the shadows of more heralded receivers as he is on this team, but just gone about his business.
Perfectly said. Couldn't agree anymore. I love Emeka Ibuka. What a player.
Take a break here. Buckeyes on the march.
The CFP National Championship presented by AT&T is brought to you by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. Verbo, private vacation rentals. And Taco Bell.
You need like multiple Mount Rushmores. I mean, for either program, right? I mean, there's legends who don't make the cut. He always makes the cut. Of course, Columbus native.
Look at this.
Two-time Heisman winner.
Go from Archie. Oh, Joe Montana. You know, Joe Montana.
Ready for a pint there. Jim Tressel had a nice moment with Marcus Freeman and James Laurinaitis, two linebackers who played for him for Ohio State.
Parnell Jones, who was a part of that 14 championship. Urban Meyer here with Ted Carter, the president. There's Lou Holtz.
Got the 88 hat. That is, of course, Notre Dame's most recent championship.
We got Eddie George and big Orlando Pace right to our right here as well.
Buckeyes in the red zone with a first down. Judkins hit. Does well to drive forward for a short gain. Billy Amuasa on the stop.
It's job, those linebackers getting downhill against that run game. Kaiser off the field, now back on the field. The leader of that Notre Dame defense. They rely on him getting them right no matter what Ohio State does with formations and different looks. Comes from Al Golden, out to Jack Kaiser. Xavier Watts, number 0, handles it on the back end. See all the communication going on there.
Howard zips it across. It's Ibuka again, one of those crossing routes that are so tough to stop. Jordan Clark made the play. Pick up about 7, so it's 3rd and 1.
What a matchup there. We talked about both those players, Emeka Ibuka and also Jordan Clark, how good he can be. That was good against good. And the time Notre Dame finally got a little bit of a pass rush there from Heinisch. Buckeyes offensive line for the most part taking care of Will Howard, who's now 9 of 9 to start this game.
Does he run it again on 3rd down? They need 2 here. Yep, QB keeper. Howard again moves the sticks. Both teams keep it a very old school with the quarterback runs on 3rd down.
Yeah, QB power. You follow the right guard around. Serafeld, watch 67 pull around. Jumpkins able to pick off the edge. Nice opening there. And that's a lot of quarterback running downhill. It's, again, 235 pounds.
AT&T connected game. Judkins enjoys blocking aggressively. He hit the All-American Watts. That was a good battle there.
Yeah. Buckeyes now 4 of 4 on 3rd down.
1st and goal. Judkins slips a tackle. Quinshon Judkins dives for the end zone, and Ohio State makes it 2 for 2 and takes the lead.
So many weapons for this Buckeye offense. Jaden Osbury, number 4, gets off a block and then takes that stiff arm right into the turf. I tell you, he's not the biggest back. He's 215, 220 pounds, but man, he runs like he's 230 pounds. Is the knee up? It is. The hand is down, but the ball is able to extend. That looks good to me.
I agree. Broke the plane before anything was down.
What a tough run again, just like the Texas game. Not just the blocking, the running early in that game. And when he gets his opportunity, when Trevion Henderson needs a break, Junkins will come in. They do such a good job of splitting them both, keeping them both fresh. But number one, look at him. He definitely brings some energy when he gets his chances.
Scored a lot of touchdowns for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. Now has his 48th career touchdown, 45 of those on the ground. Ohio State, another long drive, this time 76 yards, consumed 6 minutes. And Notre Dame, after that marathon march to open things, will have to play from behind. Judkins says, "Get away from me," and shows serious determination when he's near the goal line. Championship Monday here in Atlanta. Trophy's been here displayed all week. Championship Monday on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It'll be the case, I think, frequently in this format. It'll be the case again next year when the championship game is in Miami. So Notre Dame, so much grit, toughness on the opening possession. Has had the defense out there twice, and Ohio State's moved right down the field on long drives both times. So now Leonard and the Irish offense will try to have to respond. Harrison will let it sail out of the end zone. Saturday, day full of NBA action on ESPN and ABC, noon Eastern. Pacers and Spurs from Paris. Then a triple header of games on ABC, beginning with the Nuggets and the T-Wolves at 3. Celtics and Mavs at 5:30. And at 8:30, LeBron and the Lakers against Steph and the Warriors. LeBron, of course, a Ohio native, big Buckeye fan.
Die-hard Buckeye football.
Looking like he's enjoying things at the moment.
Yeah, having a good time. Should. It's a big series after the Ohio State's offense has moved the ball right down the field and scored. What kind of answer now will Notre Dame and Riley Leonard have after a tough second possession?
What can they do on first down? They go right back to Leonard on the keeper, and he picks his way for a 5-yard gain. Tuimoloau made the tackle. That's been the reliable tactic, as you said. How long can they do it?
Yeah, 9 carries in that opening series. See how many plays they had, consumed a bunch of time. Over 9 minutes, almost 10 minutes, 18 plays. The last drive of 3 and out.
He had to earn every yard. The longest run of those 10 carries was just 8 yards. They just came at huge moments to keep that opening drive alive. From the pocket on 2nd and 5. Leonard tries to escape. He was dragged by Tuimoloau, and the throw obviously affected. And so it's going to be 3rd down and 5.
Tuimoloau is so athletic, so powerful. Junk, you saw there, the left tackle. Talked about how physical he can be. Guy that was supposed to be that starting left tackle. Imagine sitting out the entire year with a torn pec. Goes into the Penn State game at right guard. Now going back to his original position. And he draws number 44 in his first game in his original spot at left tackle. There's the rookie and freshman Knapp, who's unable to go.
Nias Williams, versatile freshman back. This one comes in on 3rd down. They got to hurry here. Just got the play off, and it never got going. The operation was a little sluggish, and the Buckeye defense shuts him down and forces another punt.
Boy, how quickly the entire Ohio State defensive line gets off the ball, especially up top with 33 Sawyer. That play just never really had a chance from the beginning. Ends up hitting the tight end, and Notre Dame very lucky to get their hands back on the football. That could have been a turnover deep in their own territory.
Mitchell Evans was alert, but that was not how that play was drawn up. So back-to-back 3 and outs after the 18-play drive. That's the longest drive in championship game history. Buckeye defense has responded since then. That's good coverage. Brandon Ennis, the returner, is driven back. And then a great special teams tackle by Jordan Faison, the 2 sports star at Notre Dame, playing in his 2nd national championship game in the last year. Irish lacrosse team won the title, #1 ranked in the preseason. Shout out Kevin Corrigan.
Oh yeah,
Corrigan family, the lacrosse coach there. So you said it was a big possession for the Notre Dame defense. now has to have a big possession here.
Or Ohio State is thinking about, they get the ball. They defer to the second half. They get the ball here. You got 4:53 to go, 2 timeouts. You get the ball to start the second half. Talk about that middle 8. You're looking at a potential swing here. Big series coming up here for both Ohio State's offense and Notre Dame's defense.
Howard to Smith from the screen. It is sniffed out, and Jordan Clark makes the stop. Short gain, 2 yards.
Good job coming in from the inside there. This Notre Dame defense leveraged the football, very, very sound. Like I said, Jordan Clark's been playing well all year. The transfer from Arizona State, Ryan Clark's son. Really good football IQ, plays a great intensity there in the nickel.
Great to see Ryan so emotional about his son's success.
Yeah, he should be.
Moved to tears by that.
Yeah.
Can't blame him. Smith again moves around pre-snap. Option to the boundary here. Henderson takes the pitch and is driven out at the 23. Play made by Drake Bowen. So they get to 3rd and 7 here.
Interesting call. They went with speed option. They motioned Jeremiah Smith, who was to the right, move him all the way over to the left. And Notre Dame, good job of defending that. You don't see that speed option very much from Will Howard, but they defend it well and set up a 3rd down and long now for Ohio State. It's where Notre Dame, last few games in the playoff, they've really dialed up a lot of pressures here.
Buckeyes perfect on 3rd down, but this is their longest goal to yards to go at 7. Pressure does come. Howard is hit, but he gets it out, and it's Ennis who's loose on the far sideline. Quarterback stood in there, took a shot. They pick up 19 on the completion.
Well, they ended up bringing pressure from over here. They came around on a stunt, but the route is right here. Watch how he gets behind Emeka Buka. Is able to route at the top of that route, just exploded out of that to be able to pull away. And Will Howard, even though he's about to get hit, sees a wide open receiver, puts the ball out in front, and a good conversion there for Howard and Ohio State with a little wing.
Smith and Ibuka both stacked to the right of the formation. In the neighborhood, you think Chip Kelly might begin to take a shot here. Howard instead took a peek to the perimeter and then just ducks in. Takes about a 1.5 yard loss. Joshua Burnham made the play.
Interesting decision with Will Howard. He's got Jeremiah Smith in front, Ibuka behind him. And, that's kind of you're either going to run the football or your outlet is to fire it out there quickly. If the defenders allow you to think you can make some yards, Ibuka's waiting for the football, but Will Howard ends up a little bit confused there, just ends up eating it.
No hurry yet. Plenty of time. We have the 2-minute timeout coming up soon, plus 2 others to work with. Henderson trying to get to the edge. He's going to be knocked down at the 45. It's going to set up 3rd down again. Xavier Watts made the play, and that'll be the 2-minute timeout. So Ohio State trying to add to their lead. 2 minutes to go. And these 2 quarterbacks have been prominent early. Leonard so gutsy and gritty. Howard coolly back to work, engineering 2 touchdown drives in response. 2 minutes from the Mercedes-Benz halftime report. You got Reese Davis set up there. There's Nick Saban, who's got some fond memories in this building. Des will join them. Talk about what needs to be adjusted for the second half. Travis Scott will have a special performance as well at halftime.
I'm going to tell you right now, for the first half, it's the play of the game. This 3rd down with Ohio State up 14-7. They convert. They're thinking touchdown before the first half ends. Notre Dame has to come up with a stop right here.
Remember, Ohio State does get the ball to start the second half. Irish have got to get this Ohio State offense off the field.
Golden brought heavy pressure the last 3rd down. Howard stood in and found Ennis showing pressure again. Howard again has time, delivers across the middle. It's another accurate throw. He is on a roll right now. Tate makes the grab. He's now completed his last 15 passes, going back to late in the Texas game.
You can only double so many guys who's sitting back. Gray's trying to read the eyes, but a really good job. Do not sleep on Carnell Tate. and his playmaking ability. The ball is down low where he can make a play on it. Buckeyes now 6 of 6 on third down, which is a real strength of the Notre Dame defense, especially in the postseason.
And Howard 12 for 12 tonight. Again, plenty of time, no pressure, just tripped up as he had tried to escape the pocket. Joshua Burnham closed him down. I don't think Howard knew he was that close.
What a hustle play from Burnham. Now that's been a real concern, this position for Notre Dame with the injuries to Botello and Dracori. And this time you see a great effort by 40 Burnham to be able to make that play.
So Notre Dame has spent the timeout hoping they can come up with a stop at 2nd and 13 here. But what an interesting game. You start the game with an epic drive. Usually you think of late game epic drives. So the Irish with that big march. You know that Leonard has burned a lot of fuel on that and was going to have a hard time recovering. Offense hasn't been at all smooth since then, and Ohio State's just gone about their business. Same thing in this game as the rest of the CFP in the first half, frankly.
I think when this matchup came out, I think what everybody really wanted to see was the Ohio State offense against this Notre Dame defense. It's good against good, and how would Al Golden try to defend the firepower this offense has? And Chip Kelly, Will Howard and company have been one step ahead of the Irish defense, especially on these third downs. That had to be a strength of the Irish tonight, the way it has been against Indiana and Georgia, and again last week against Penn State.
They knew they needed to create some takeaways. They've been phenomenal at it. Ohio State doesn't usually cooperate. And Howard just has that locked-in look. There's a long throw. Lots of space for Smith, who comes back, makes the grab. Another first down. They're inside the 25.
What a job of protecting here off that blitz. They brought 6. They picked it up. And again, the respect that they have for Jeremiah Smith. Gray is in a foot race to keep that ball in front of him. How about the length there to be able to stretch out and make that catch? Long arms, able to bring it in. But the cushion, once they protected it, easy throw out there in the flat with the soft corner, afraid of that speed of Smith going by him.
Howard again, great protection, looking for the corner. It's a 50-50 ball. That was two future pros, Xavier Watts, Lockwood Henderson. They kind of dap each other up after the play. That was a good battle.
It really was. Usually when you run that rail route, you get a linebacker. They ran it earlier. He did not throw it. This time they were determined. Chip Kelly was determined to throw it. You could see them fighting over it. Watts is in position. The strength of Henderson looks like he has it, tries to pull it, and the ball spills out. Saw Texas run that twice against Ohio State.
Howard escapes again and is going to be knocked down to the 12. Watts came flying up. He eluded the big hit, but gets down, and Ohio State threatening with a first down, approaching a minute to play in the half.
They're going to go fast here, but it's the second time we've seen man coverage. Nobody there to account for the running quarterback on the scramble.
Henderson again. Just brought down there. That was Drake Bowen, who tried to keep a hold of the running back, who slips through and gets down to the 5.
Bola, the right guard, went up to take on 34. Bowen, he gets up right there. Bowen does a pretty good job just to get off that block and then have to deal with Henderson.
Irish defense on the ropes here, and the Buckeyes have cranked the tempo. And they whistle before the play.
That gives you an idea where they want to go with the ball, right? They want that one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, they did tip their hand, of course. No play. You can just tell that Day and Chip Kelly understand this Notre Dame defense, which has been unable to get off the field on a single third down, that is kind of up against it here. And Ohio State, as you said, getting the ball back to begin the second half, trying to make it a deeper hole for Marcus Freeman's team.
The second of the half, 30-second timeout.
Well, this is this has been the challenge for teams defending Ohio State. You think about Jeremiah Smith because of what he did against Tennessee, but there's Emeka Egbuka, there's Carnell Tate, there's Trevion Henderson, there's Quinshon Junkins, there's Will Howard now with an offensive line that's built continuity since those injuries, and he's able to make plays with his legs and be a part of the run game. There's a lot more than just the freshman Jeremiah Smith, and with the line playing the way they have these last 3 or 4 games, you know, you're allowed to really tap in to all these different options you have, and it really makes it tough on Notre Dame. Where do you start when it comes to defending them?
Well, you said that well. All the pieces come in together. The line blocking well on the run, giving Howard great protection. He's clearly seeing the field tonight. The accuracy is there, and the playmakers are all over the place, obviously.
No doubt.
Playing against a very strong defense, but falling behind for the first time in the CFP, responding with a couple of long touchdown drives and trying to make it a third here. 33 seconds. 1 timeout remaining for Ryan Day. Howard looking across the middle and has space, takes up, touchdown! Sneaking open was Quinshon Junkins. And Ohio State stretches the lead with a 3rd long touchdown drive tonight.
How many times we just talked about Will Howard scrambling and knowing being there to account for him. This time he scrambles, and there's a couple defenders that their eyes are on the threat of Will Howard, and nobody picked up Junkins, who slipped behind those defenders that were afraid of Howard once again hurting him with his legs.
3 for 3 in their possessions. 231 yards of total offense. Really nice run to pass balance and a 14-point lead.
You know, this time they actually work in a zone defense. This is where Junkins is out of the backfield. But watch the defense in the eyes, the threat. Remember, Will Howard's been doing this and hurting him. Look at the 4 defenders. They're not going to let him take off and run again, even though it's zone. And nobody communicates and picks up Junkins, who slips right behind those defenders who are worried about that quarterback scramble again. What a drive for Ohio State. We just talked about it before they got it. It's an opportunity maybe for a knockout punch, because not only do you score, you give this offense that Notre Dame has not been able to stop the ball to start the second half.
Irish are tough to knock out. Ton of grit.
Yep.
They have been able to come from behind. Did so against Penn State, down 10 early, down 7 later in the game. Really fought from behind a lot in that game. Very gritty performance against Georgia, but this is different because they haven't been able to get a stop at all against Ohio State so far.
They're not built to come back from these kind of deficits. They're a team, they want to control the pace of the game. The worst thing that could happen to Notre Dame, and I'm not saying they can't come back, but the worst thing that could happen to them is dig themselves a hole with the style of offense that they play. It's just not conducive with the line play, the receivers, the pass game, to be able to throw the football in obvious passing situations. It makes it tough on them.
Passing game has not yet clicked. Leonard 4 for 8 for 39. They relied so much on QB run in the opening possession. Can they come up with other answers after halftime? Try to get it to Miles Green on the edge there, Bo Collins, and he is going to be brought down.
I think Notre Dame, they're fine with, they're not going to hurry it up or use their timeouts. I think they're going to go in.
Pick up 7. They do have a couple of timeouts, but Freeman electing not to use them. We talked about Jeremiah Love, the weapon on the ground. 3 carries in the first half, 1 yard. So one of their main weapons has been nullified. Let's go to Molly. We'll hear from Marcus Freeman.
Coach, how does your defense get them off the field on 3rd down?
We got to get off the field on 3rd down. Like we got to be able to cover them. We were trying to play a little man, and they convert, and then we play a little zone, and they're converting. So we just got to get some things fixed. We're making some uncharacteristic mistakes on both sides of the ball. You know, offense, the last 2 series, we have penalties, and then we have a muff snap. Defensively, we just got to relax, man. This moment shouldn't be too big for us, but we got to relax and go back and do the things we're supposed to do and be aggressive. So we'll get them going.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Holly.
Coach Day, you said when your quarterback gets in a rhythm, he can be dangerous. How did you get him so comfortable early in this game?
Oh, the first drive, they went down, and we got to settle down a little bit on defense, but I thought we had a great response. He's made some third down plays. You know, they've changed a few things up on you know, how they're defending us a little bit, and we got to go into halftime and make sure we come out and win this middle 8 right here, because they did a great job finishing the drive. We have the ball to start the second half. We got to come out and have a great drive.
Thank you, Coach.
And for Marcus Freeman, hoping for more poise from his team. LeBron loving it. His beloved Buckeyes lead at 21-7 at the end of the first half. Mercedes-Benz halftime report right after these messages. You're watching the College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T.
All that work, all that sacrifice.
Ohio State and Notre Dame, one more chance to finish and complete a dream. Touchdown, Notre Dame!
What an answer from the Buckeyes.
Jenkins dives for the end zone.
So many weapons for this Buckeye offense.
Back in Atlanta, set for the second half. The College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T. Ohio State, 21 unanswered after an early score from Notre Dame. 21-7 is the lead. And welcome back, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit. Check out the Capital One rewarding performance. This is how Notre Dame has responded to Ohio State's high-powered offense. Man versus zone was a big question.
Yeah, are you going to play man coverage and leave yourself vulnerable against these receivers to touchdown? Or are you going to play man and cover them downfield but leave your backs to the quarterback without a spy? Did this a couple times. Or are you going to sit back in zone? And again, there's that threat of Will Howard potentially taking off and picking up yards, catches the defense's eyes, good awareness, good job of baiting them, and then making the throw for the touchdown right at the end of that first half.
11 dropbacks defended with man, 8 in zone. Didn't matter. Howard started 14 for 14. He's had the best, most efficient half throw in the football of any quarterback in a championship game, first or second half. They get the ball right here. So what answers does Al Golden, is a very smart guy, what can he come up with here to try to slow this down and get a third down stop?
I think obviously it's a mixed bag, but I think they've got to get aggressive. This team has faced adversity all year. This is as big of a hill they've ever had to climb. What the heck? You got nothing to lose. Get aggressive and come after Will Howard.
Makes the fair catch, and Howard and company will take over at the 25-yard line. Let's check in with Holly.
Look, I was able to catch up with Ryan Day. Remember, he had said that they are changing things on defense back and forth. I asked him when he came back out what they addressed. He said it's because they're flipping back and forth into man and zone so much. They're doing it much more than their tendencies of the regular season. So it was a long conversation in the locker room at halftime. One other thing to keep your eye on, Will Howard has warned this team all week that Notre Dame is tough and they don't quit. Even though they've got a big lead now, I know Will Howard continually is reminding this team that they've got to stay sharp.
Yeah, he's a complete leader, does every aspect of leadership well, and it's the kind of thing a coach would say, and the veteran quarterback knows it's true. They do show some pressure on first down. It's picked up and incomplete. Coming across to make the play was Leonard Moore defending Smith. There's the passing chart for Will Howard in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we talk about him trying to get the ball downfield. You can see he's 14 of 15. Look at the completions. Kind of a mixed bag, working the right there. A lot of it up close, under 10 yards. He's had a few that have gone downfield, but a lot of times those passing charts for Ohio State's offense is predicated upon the defense that they're facing and who the open man is.
Didn't hit a deep shot against Texas. He was almost perfect against Tennessee and Oregon. Haven't had to employ that tonight. Judkins breaks free. Quinshon Judkins hits a sprint. And they'll finally run him down at the 5. An explosive play for Ohio State. Pick it up where they left off. Grabbed 70 right there.
So Will Howard opens to who is right. You got motion from Emeka going here. He opens here and comes back. Watch the defense run this way with Emeka in the action. Makes it easy on the blocking angles. And what a talented back Junkins is. Nobody there with the design of that play. The defense fell exactly the way Ohio State hoped to see. And they spring a big one. It's a foot race between Junkins and Ryan Day to the end zone.
We've seen Ryan Day sprint down the sidelines a lot in the playoff. So the Buckeyes, with the way their defense is playing, chance to really deliver a serious blow to the Notre Dame chances in the first minute of the second half. They spend a timeout here. Molly?
Yeah, Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman has to be pretty frustrated. His message in the locker room was, that was just one half of football. You cannot be timid. We did not come this far to not play well. And he said they need to get things corrected on third down. He said that starts with being physical and challenging them, which means we're going to continue to play man when we need to. Buy into our identity of toughness. And speaking of toughness, he wants them to be more physical with quarterback Will Howard when they need to, guys.
Well, they didn't even get to third down in that possession. It was a second down sprint.
Yeah, what a good job of feeling that and seeing it. Like I said, if you're Junkins looking at the defense, they're moving to your left, reacting to the motion, reacting to the counter, and then he's able to find that grass to the backside on that well-designed play. Will Howard's parents, yo, go.
That timeout allowed Judkins to get a breather. He's back in there on first and goal. Got the football and muscles forward for about a yard.
Interesting listening to Molly's report about Marcus Freeman saying, hey, defensively, we've got to get more aggressive. The challenge is sometimes when you get more aggressive against a team with this kind of firepower, you know, it's hit or miss. Either make a big play or kind of rolling the dice and being a little bit more aggressive. You're just a step or two out of position by being a little bit more aggressive, and you can get creased as they were there with that big run by Junkins.
3 tight ends on the field for this second and goal. Henderson is the back. Howard keep it, and he'll be knocked down at the 1. They have a lot of options down near the goal line, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Will Howard is a big part of it. We keep thinking, you know, Riley Leonard and his feet would be a big part of this game, but we've seen tonight what Will Howard can do when he gets a chance, whether it's scrambling or design runs. 7 carries already tonight at 29 yards, and more importantly, he's a threat down here. Patrick Gerd comes into the game at fullback.
Big old fullback 49 in front of Judkins as well as the 3 tight ends. Power formation, Judkins, easy, and Ohio State stretches and flexes. Cannot be stopped so far.
That's about as perfect a 4 possessions as I've ever seen in a national championship. No penalties, converting on third downs, moving the ball, whether it's zone or man, just in complete command. And this is a power play, that backside guard pulling around. Good block on a play side tight end there. Kazmarek, easy touchdown there for the Buckeyes.
And the hat trick for Judkins, 2 rushing touchdowns and the receiving touchdown. Man who came from Ole Miss for 1 year and one purpose, to win a championship. It's looking good right now. Eye in the sky over chilly Atlanta, the Goodyear Blimp providing aerial coverage, celebrating 100 years of the American icon, the Goodyear Blimp. Taco Bell, of course, as they have been throughout the CFP, providing tickets for students from both schools to come and be part of the national championship tonight. Part of the Liv Moss student section of the year contest, which Ohio State won, by the way. They had the winning student section.
How about that?
Yeah. Winning a lot of things.
Yeah, they sure are. Got the best band in the land.
Well, that's just your unofficial title, is it? Or
I guess.
I mean, a lot of people think it's.
I think a lot of
right
people join me.
Holly, what do you have?
Well, Quinshon Judkins is having a night. He was the first team All-SEC running back at Ole Miss and went into the transfer portal. But before Ryan Day would add him to this team, he called his returning back, Travion Henderson, "What do you think?" Travion said, "Let me sleep on it, coach." The next day, he called him back and said, "I'll do whatever's best for the team." So adding Quinshon has had 2 fresh backs. He has taken 183 attempts of workload off of Travion Henderson, and you are seeing the fresh legs of these backs go to work tonight, guys. Good teamwork from the 1-2 punch.
Henderson had the big explosive play. Feeling happy for his buddy. They've been quite a tandem, impossible to stop. There's Leonard under pressure and trying to get it to Greathouse. This passing game has a hopeful look, but not a very confident look right now.
No. Again, this is just not their game. And you can't get 21 points back at once. I think it'd be smart to just keep doing what they tried to do early in this game, which was running the football and trying to be ahead of the sticks.
You run it on 2nd and 10, though, after the incompletion. You end up with a 3rd and 8.
And think about it, their opening drive, 18 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown. And since then, they've run 9 plays and have 20 yards. Think of that. First drive, 18 plays and a touchdown. Since 9 plays, 20 yards.
All the cliches. They emptied the bucket. They burned a lot of fuel. The opening drive, it was evident. But after that, been short on answers against this Ohio State defense that collectively got themselves fired up after that first touchdown they surrendered. Leonard across the middle, and that is a completion, but short of the first down. Aeneas Williams stopped right there by Denzel Burke, or Faison, excuse me, and really 4th down.
Yeah, he saw him late. If he got the ball to him a little bit earlier, he was looking left. You had Faison, who was separating away from Denzel Burke and just unable to get the ball to him early enough for the yards after the reception. Would have easily gotten the first down. Throwing it to him late allowed the Ohio State defender to catch up to him before the ball was thrown.
Rendell, the punter, is out there. Marcus Freeman and the fine special teams coach Marty Biaggi have been known to use some fakes and some trickery, and they need something here. And the rollout pass is incomplete. They rolled the dice. Faison made a diving attempt, and Steve Angeli, the backup quarterback, was in there, took the up snap, and you had a feeling maybe desperate times, but the Buckeyes are ready for it.
Well, I mean, Ohio State special teams all week, they thought about the potential of a fake. And when you see the backup quarterback go in there, it's pretty obvious the ball has a chance of coming out, and Denzel Burke gave him just a bit of a cushion. If he could have held on to this, it's a first down, but the ball goes through the arms, and the Buckeyes take the ball back in great field position.
Yeah, that throw was tailing away from a really tough play for Faison to try to make. And when you gamble like that, deep in your own territory, doesn't pay off, the odds get even steeper against you. Ohio State now from the 33, trying to make it a 4-score game.
Take a shot here, down to the bottom.
Henderson dodges a man in the hole and bounces forward. 4-4.
Buckeyes have mixed up, been pretty balanced with their run and pass. They got 166 on the ground. That big run in the last series by Junkins, only 144 through the air. But it's just the way they called this game. Chip Kelly, masterful job along with Ryan Day and this offensive staff of what they put together against a really good Notre Dame defense.
Henderson again. On the keeper, actually. They faked it to him nicely. Good ball handling by Howard, who keeps it, turns the corner, and another first down with his legs.
Yeah, nice long ride. Tui Alamaka is right here. That's who he's reading. Watch how he stays on this ride a long time. Once 44 committed down to Travion Henderson, he pulls that ball away to keep it, to get around the edge for that first down. Again, sneaky when they utilize those legs, and just enough to remind the defense that it's there. Can't forget about him.
Look how locked in Howard is. There's no let up at his intensity.
Nope.
Trying to put in the dagger here.
Got Smith isolated.
Henderson. Oh, tripped up on the edge. That was a good tackle by the freshman Moore. Another solid pickup on first down from the Ohio State ground game.
Keep running these counter plays with both these backs, giving them blocking angles for the offensive linemen. They've been able to pop them outside, run between the tackles. That was close to getting out and into the end zone.
Howard on the move. Flag is down as he looks to throw back. And Ibuka draws a crowd. And it'll be dropped short of the marker. Ohio State has been able to avoid penalties very well tonight.
Yeah, it's their first, and it's going to be a hold on the right tackle, 70, Josh Fryer.
Think about that. No penalties until midway third quarter.
10-yard penalty, second down.
Nothing approaching a turnover. Notre Dame knew they needed some breaks. They've been a great team at creating breaks. They have been given none tonight by Ohio State.
Now there's the AT&T connected cam. Ohio State trying to bring the defense with Will Howard, and you can see able to work to the edge there. Like the safety, Don Schuler had come down.
Maureen again, Howard's mom, watching her son potentially live out his dream tonight. Henderson. He's stopped by Gabriel Rubio, and Watts got there late to help. So it's going to bring up third and very long now, third and 16. The only thing that stopped Ohio State when they were rolling early against Texas was their own offensive penalties. They had 6 of them on offensive, season high the last game. Much cleaner tonight.
Absolutely.
Can they convert on this third down? They're 7 for 7. Howard has time, launches to the end zone. Wide open is Tate, but he just overthrew him. He got behind Christian Gray, and that's maybe the one thing Howard would like to have back tonight.
I keep waiting for him to take these shots. Watch Rod Hurd. He comes down, gets occupied, so you got a one-on-one shot. It's a little slant and go. See the safety get occupied underneath? So you got a one-on-one chance, and again, do not think it's just Jeremiah Smith that can go by these defensive backs. Tate does a great job, and Howard just puts a little bit too much on it.
Took that to get their first stop on third down, and now Jaden Fielding on from 46 yards. And slides it inside the right upright. So the Buckeyes sniff out that fake punt in a very short field goal drive to stretch it to 31-7. All-State continues to celebrate every field goal in PAT by making donations to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State.
Every voice and sing.
There's Dr. King's deep connection with this city. Born in Atlanta, much of his most vital civil rights work took place here. Ebenezer Baptist Church, co-pastor alongside his father here. Dr. King actually spoke at Notre Dame 50 years ago. It was 2 weeks after the I Have a Dream speech in Washington. Went up to South Bend and spoke.
I didn't realize that. Cool.
Marcus Freeman very mindful that as the first Black and Asian American head coach to get his team to a championship game. It fell on the day of Martin King Jr. The hole for Notre Dame continues to grow. Irish has been a resilient team this year, but nothing close to the challenge facing them right here. Try to climb back in this.
I got something coming up. Something kind of big.
Glenn Powell's Chad Powers, new face of Second Chances, Eli and Peyton. Man, such a contrast between that opening possession for Notre Dame and Riley Leonard just digging deep. So gutsy, so efficient. This is why they started the game that way. 9 carries by the quarterback in that opening touchdown drive. And since then, obviously, they've dialed that way back. He's had just a couple since that opening drive.
Think of that talented backfield. Even Anais Williams, who made so many big plays last week against Penn State. You throw Love, Price, and Williams all together. 7 touches combined. 14 rushing yards, 7 receiving yards. Really shut down.
Catch made by Chris Mitchell has been featured tonight. You wonder, Kirk, we saw, you know, Jeremiah Love. He talked about the MCL that he had, sprained against SC and then re-aggravated against Georgia. And he seemed to be okay, much closer to 100%. He gave it a go. He had that incredible touchdown run, in the last game and
against Penn State,
yeah. But it really has been zero factor tonight, barely evident in the field.
Now, all 3 of them, like I said, I mean, it's really been Riley Leonard and his legs. It's about all we've seen.
It is the first down for Notre Dame since that opening drive. Leonard looking to throw on first on the move and finds Bo Collins, who takes a shot. They pick up about 10.
I think we all expected Jim Knowles to bring his defense in with a mindset of, hey, let's stop this quarterback run game. Let's stop their ability to run the football. Let's make Riley Leonard and these receivers beat us and make him sit in the pocket and throw. And after that first drive, that's what we've seen. Take away the run game, make Notre Dame throw the football.
Knowles has been an absolutely sensational hire by Ryan Day. One of the most important moves he's made, I think. 61st in total defense the year before he got there. And the guy in the gray beard who came from Oklahoma State, since then, the last 3 years, yards allowed first combined in those 3 years. I mean, that's an incredible improvement.
And when it comes to evaluating Ryan Day and what a great job he's done, it's things like that. Hiring Chip Kelly, hiring Jim Knowles, the staff that you put together, the roster you put together.
Leonard chased and knocked down Sonny Styles on the sack. Ohio State's front continues to be relentless. It's an 11-yard loss.
They cross up their linebackers here. Who's Cody Simon, who blitz this way, and then you get Sonny Styles, who comes around on the other side right off of it. Nobody picks him up. The back is late, and Price trying to come up. Nice wrinkle as we talk about Jim Knowles. He dials one up to get home.
Pass rush backers still in the game for Ohio State here on 3rd and 19. Pocket collapses again with an arm draped around him. He delivers a downfield throw, tried to get to Mitchell Evans, and there's a flag in the play. Ransom and Igbinosun converged on the tight end, and that penalty may keep this drive alive.
I think Igbinosun allowed him to get behind him.
Defense number 1.
Never really located the ball until it was late.
Automatic first down.
More penalties in coverage than anybody in college football this season. He'd really cut down only one of them the last 4 games.
He settled his feet right there already. It's already pass interference. His right arm was hooked around his hip. And then contact there late. So a good call by the official. And Notre Dame picks up a first down. It's been a problem, as you said, for him all year. A lot of holds, and you can see right there, 15, he said.
The Irish will take any break they're given, because there haven't been many tonight. On the pitch to the tight end, Raritan, and he did step out of bounds, slipped through the tackle of Downs, who was able to get him out after a 6-yard gain.
Again, they're in these obvious passing situations, and Denbrock doesn't have a lot to work with this year when it comes to this passing game. He can't be overly sophisticated, but he has done a good job here of trying to mix up these looks. Ball out in a hurry. Sometimes he's creating.
Keeper And he's near the marker. They beat Penn State. They did a couple of things that were out of character. They were very efficient on third down, 11 conversions. Also had 3 downfield pass plays of 30+ yards. Hadn't had that many in the game all season. You wondered, could they even get close to that tonight against an even better defense, and they haven't.
Well, and it's tough. That was a game that was back and forth. You know, right now you're down 24 points in obvious situations. The defense, they're aggressive, but they're also trying to play smart to not give up those big plays.
Leonard bounces it to the outside, easily converts inside the 35.
Well, that's their first conversion of a third down since the opening drive. They started 2 of 3, converted a couple fourth downs, 0 for 4 on third down since, so they finally picked one up.
To be limping a little bit after that carry, Leonard is not going to come out. And a sideline throw, jump ball on the edge. There was Jaden Thomas battling Denzel Burke.
But Denzel Burke uses his experience there in phase. His 51st start as a Buckeye at corner. He's had a lot of great moments. He's had some challenging moments. That's life as a corner, right? He's fought through that. That time, just a perfect job of, as I say, right with the receiver, turns his head, locates the ball, and knocked it away.
Pressure again. It's picked up, and on the slant, the catch is made by Jaden. Greathouse is free. Greathouse gets a block. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Offense comes back to life for the first time since the first quarter. 75-yard drive, aided with a penalty, and the Irish strike from 34 yards out.
You got to give Greathouse a lot of credit here. He breaks 2 tackles, the first on the backup corner, Jermaine Matthews, then the safety, Caleb Downs, and look at the block downfield here by 10 of Chris Mitchell to eventually get him into the end zone. So the Irish, Marcus Freeman, still fighting here in this third quarter.
And it played an important role in that game against Penn State. Makes his first catch. They'll go for 2 here. Trying to cut it to a 16-point game. Of course, this would make it within 2 scores. It's Faison who comes in motion. Leonard rolling that way. Shovel pass into the middle. And an impact play, finally, from Jeremiah Love. And the Irish tack on the 2, and it is a 16-point game now.
Did you see Marcus Freeman say that's 1? Meaning that's 1 touchdown with a 2-point. That's what he's telling his offense as they're coming off the field, guys. We got 1. Now the defense has got to do their job. What a play. Chris just called for it. Can they make a big play in the pass game like they did against Penn State? And look who does it again. Jaden Greathouse. Unbelievable effort. Yards after the catch. Decide to go for 2. Draw the defense. Flip it underneath. Nobody's there. Love finally gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Some fight back from the Fighting Irish.
Want to talk football with a friend? Just tell Siri. Call Jesse on speakerphone.
Notre Dame spreading the football around. Did get the pass game going in that touchdown drive. Now have to put that defense back out there and see if they can get a quick stop against Ohio State. Did their job in the last possession with the help of a holding penalty, forcing the field goal. Content to wait for a fair catch. Kickoff returns not a part of the plan really for either team tonight. So Howard and the Buckeyes, cushion not quite as comfortable, but still up 16 when you come back. Ryan Day's passions on display tonight. This new format provides new challenges, but also new opportunities. That guy was vilified, as was his team, as you know, after that Michigan loss, written off. And from the ashes of that, he found a way to frame it as a 4-game opportunity for redemption. And he pushed all the right buttons, and it's been, his building the Woody against the world since then. It's been effective.
Really has. I mean, you can see the intensity in his eyes. And give him all the credit, man. After that game, he has gotten this team to buy in, as they said, 4 more games. And They're close to trying to finish that off.
Buka makes the catch on the slant. Talk about the numbers and the highest winning percentage, minimum 50 games. There he is at 873, just behind Newt Rockne and Walter Camp, inventor of modern football, ahead of Leahy. That's all.
That's all time.
Yep.
Highest winning percentage by a head coach with 50 games.
By far the highest active. Howard, keeper, and he's going to be met in the hole and driven down there by William Asa. Holly?
You talk about Ryan Day turning the tide. After that Michigan loss, he had a meeting. It was only the players and Ryan Day in a meeting, and everybody that I've talked to that was in there said it was a hard meeting. A lot of truth were told. That JT Tuimoloau said, you have hard conversations when you're a family. We had to decide, are we going to stay together or separate? That meeting with Ryan Day has changed this season.
Got a 3rd and 1 here, and they shove the quarterback. That was Henderson behind Howard. Yeah, those meetings are important, but it's how they put it into action, too. That frigid night in Tennessee when the Volunteer fans tried to take over the horseshoe. That began the run.
I think that was the turning point as far as the psychological aspect of this team. And looking up at their stadium and seeing all that orange, I think they got back into that locker room from what Ryan Day and a lot of the players have told me. It was like they basically drew a line in the sand from that moment on. And when they won that game, they restored their confidence and belief that, hey, we can get on a run here. And they have come together, either split apart when you go through something like that, or you come together. And they've definitely come together.
Henderson, off right tackle, picks up a couple. It was the fuel of that game, the opportunity to pay back Oregon, that astoundingly dominant performance in the Rose Bowl. Then the idea of going on the road. They felt that Texas in Arlington was like a road game. That felt like a heavyweight fight, almost worthy of a final in and of itself, those two teams.
But I think a lot needs to be said about the players. It's one thing for the coaching staff, but if you're going to make a run like this, that also has to come from Jack Sawyer and Will Howard and JTT and Cody Simon and Caleb Downs. The players have definitely impacted this turnaround.
The backpedal and a throwaway on 2nd and long. R.J. Oben, and there's a flag. They finally got near Howard, then they get too aggressive at the end of the play.
Unbelievable. The Duke transfer, R.J. Oben, just a mental error.
Personal foul.
Just throws Howard down.
Defense number 9. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Again, this is a Notre Dame team coached by Marcus Freeman. They've been doing all the little things right since the Northern Illinois loss. Here they are trying to fight and scratch and claw to get back into this game, and it's the follow-through. It's not, oh my gosh, that was an aggressive hit. It was late, and then he follows through to get the referee's attention, almost daring him to throw. Bill, what do you think?
No question about it. He knew the ball was away, and that push is a giveaway to the referee that it was unnecessary.
Bill, if he would have done that to you as a referee, I mean, he's almost daring you to throw it. You just don't want it. When you're down 16, you don't want to be in that gray area.
The frustration in that mental mistake. Instead, Ohio State, instead of having a punt, now they're in Notre Dame territory, and Henderson continues to grind away. That should be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Ohio State adds 2 points to the lead in the quarter, and with 15 to play, the lead is 16 here in Atlanta. Irish defense up against it, needing to make a stop or make a play. 31-15 headed to the 4th. You're watching the College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T.
Coach, you've cut it to a 2-score game. How do you get a stop and build some momentum here?
We're going to have to. We're not helping ourselves by that penalty right there, but we got to get a stop. And that's what I told our guys. All right, we can't help what happened that last penalty. We got to get a stop. We need a takeaway if we can. And we got to get the ball to our offense and still keep it a 2-score game. Then we can go and try to get some points and try to make this a 1-score game. But that won't happen unless we get a stop here.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Takeaway desperately needed. They did that so well. They scored 158 points off opponents' turnovers. Yeah. That's the most in 10 years in the sport. Nobody was even close to that this year. The problem is, Kirk, Ohio State doesn't fumble the ball. 5 lost all year. And if you can't stress Howard or pressure him, A pick seems unlikely at this point, too. You got to find a way to affect the quarterback.
Yeah, you have to be the aggressor. You have to make the offense feel that pressure, and they've not been able to do that tonight at all.
Ibuka on a little reverse inside pitch. Nice play design, better execution. Ibuka weaving and dodging tackles, lost the ball at the end.
Oh,
they run him down. They haven't made a signal yet. Yes, it is a fumble and the long-awaited takeaway. Viliamu Asa recovered it. It was a spectacular play by Ibuka until the very end.
Yeah, what a run there after the catch. Unbelievable in space. But at the very end, they'll probably take a look at this. Drake Bowen, 34. Look at it. His hand on that ball's out. That's a recovery. Notre Dame
play is under further review.
Yeah, they're going to take a look, but that knee was up. Chris, just as we were talking at the break,
you said they don't fumble, period. They did.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. They hadn't fumbled since the Penn State game. It had been a while. What a great play, though, to punch it out. They had to force it. That was not an unforced error. That was an aggressive punch out.
Yeah, big play by Emeka Ibuka, but good effort. That's what they've been doing all year. Bowen knocks it out, and they go back to that R.J. Oben mistake on the push of Will Howard. Did you see the look on the head coach Marcus Freeman's face when he's talking to Molly? He almost just looked disgusted that we had a chance to get him behind the sticks. Then we allow that. We got to make a play, and sure enough, Drake Bowen does by knocking that ball loose.
Some juice on the sidelines, how you can see it. The defensive team over there, and there's some belief in the building for the Irish faithful.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Notre Dame.
So the first turnover tonight, created by Notre Dame. They're still 80 yards from the end zone, still needing, as he said, those 2 scores and two-point conversions.
Remember, he said that's 1. Now he's trying to get number 2, meaning a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Long way to go. Let's see what this offense can do.
Faison on the end around, could not escape the tackle of the great Caleb Downs.
Yeah, Caleb Downs does such a good job in motion. He ended up moving from the middle, bouncing into the outside. And he's just too quick, able to get off of blocks, whether it's a tight end. This time it's Jeremiah Love leading the way. Just used his hands and his instincts to be quicker than these blockers think he is.
Leonard on the move, trying to create outside the pocket, stops and has to just throw it away. Nobody open, and Sawyer, as well as Talik Williams, were closing in fast.
The problem is when he escaped to his right, all the receivers that were aligned to the right were cutting in to the left, to the inside. So by the time he got out there, broke contained, he had no one to throw the football to because everybody had worked the other way. That's why he paused and tried to give him time to work back towards him, but it was too late.
Got to try to block this pass rush again now on 3rd and 9. Leonard has time. Down the middle, catch made. It's Greathouse, who's made 2 big plays in the pass game in Ohio State territory. They get a 30-yard chunk.
Well, they got exactly a matchup they wanted. Cody Simon, a middle linebacker, against their best receiver in Greathouse. I thought he might blitz off the edge, but instead he's in coverage.
Leonard again on 1st down, heavy traffic, and has to just throw it away again. There's a flag down in the secondary. Benosin was guarding Bo Collins. Here's the catch a moment ago by Greathouse.
Holding, defense number 1. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's his 2nd flag tonight as the pattern continues.
Yeah, and Ohio State they've done a really good job here of forcing him to throw that ball away. But when he works back, watch the ground. Again, he's been doing this all year. That's a penalty. That's a penalty right there. I don't know who he's waving off. That's an easy penalty on 1 and white. 2nd one.
He's really good at trying to wave him off.
Yeah, he's been doing it all year. That's 16 on the year.
Screen look. They hit it down there, but trying to make something happen. And it's Jaden Harrison. Cody Simon closing in. They'll lose 4 in that 1st down play. But Greathouse has come up big, and Leonard standing in there as a gritty delivery downfield to convert on 3rd and long.
Yeah, he has had to work, as you said, Chris, for pretty much every yard. Whether it's been on the ground, using his legs through the air, trying to wait and wait, show toughness sitting in that pocket.
Quarterback keeper, Leonard, trying to follow the block of Love. Picks up a couple there. Cody Simon effectively spying it.
When you see that kind of formation with 3 receivers with a tight end moving to the right, they're trying to clear out the middle of that defense. And when you call a quarterback draw on 2nd and long like that, you're thinking 4-down territory. You're thinking, let's get it to maybe 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8. And then you get to 3rd down, you're trying to think of maybe let's get it to 3rd. If you don't pick up the 1st down, let's get it close. Give us a shot here on potentially 4th and short.
Empty backfield on 3rd and long. Quick pitch to the edge. Evans makes the catch. They do get a sizable chunk to make it 4th and makeable. I think Jeremiah Love's a better runner than lead blocker. I'm still just mystified how they haven't featured him more. He caught the little inside pass on the 2-point conversion.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the score of the game. You know, the fact that they're trying to play catch up. And you're right, we just haven't seen him with very many opportunities tonight. Only the 4 carries and the 3 yards. This is obviously a huge play that the tight end into the boundary with a size advantage right here.
Irish a good 4th down team all season long. They converted on 19 of them. Leonard has some time and delivers a strike, and it's a 1st down completion as Greathouse has become the pass game weapon in the half. Picked up 11 there.
What a great route here by Greathouse. Really sells this route to the outside, gets back to the inside, is able to pull away from the defender, and the patience in the pocket with 4th down, the game on the line. Riley Leonard and the offensive line deliver.
He was very calm with chaos all around him. There's the pitch to the edge, and all of a sudden, Greathouse has become a problem. Igmanosin forces him out.
And Chris, just to pick up again, just to show you this route, Lorenzo Styles 3 is with him. They're trying to bracket him, but again, with too many receivers, it basically creates a one-on-one opportunity. That's a 4th down play, a great route by Greathouse, who's really come alive here in this 2nd half. He's got 4 receptions, now 81 yards in that touchdown.
Irish in the red zone in the belief of a massive comeback growing minute by minute, and they're faithful. Leonard looking to the end zone, lobs it off. A flag comes in. They tried to find Harrison. Defended by Denzel Burke. Kind of a jump ball, but to be another penalty on this Ohio State secondary.
Holding. Defense number 2.
That wasn't
automatic 1st down.
Chris, that wasn't with the intended receiver. That was actually a receiver who Caleb Downs got his hands on underneath this route. This is not the interference. It was underneath. Caleb Downs actually pulled a Notre Dame receiver down, and that's what they called. It was face on number 6. It ended up going up against Caleb Downs, and Downs pulled him down. That's where the call came in.
Ohio State penalty free for a long time in this game. Now they're mounting. This is what you're talking about. 1st and goal at the 8. Leonard, they were expecting QB run, and they closed him down. Kenyatta Jackson off the edge. It's a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, here it is right here. I think they called 2, but it's actually 7. Jordan Hancock, who brought Faison down, and that's where they got the interference. Again, it wasn't on the play by Denzel Burke on the ball. Chris, you're right. One too many times to the quarterback run. At time they pinched from the outside. Keep in mind, Riley Leonard in the red zone, 27 touchdowns, 0 turnovers down in this area. He's been outstanding.
They have to throw it to score. Ohio State tough to run in from here. Fade, and it's contested on the edge there, but it was Ransom holding up against the tight end Evans.
What a matchup. Evans, who is from Ohio, went to Wadsworth, came off an ACL last year, has had a great year at 6'5". Lathan Ransom, who's played a lot of football in his day, 6'1".
Feeling was that Mitchell Evans was going to have a big game for this offense, limited to 2 catches for 15 yards. What can Leonard do here on 3rd and goal? Field goal doesn't do him a lot of good. From the pocket, zips it short, and it's broken up. Tried to go back to Greathouse, who's been featured so much, but Hancock got there to break it up.
Yeah, good job there. You know, Jordan Hancock, I think he's one of the better slot corners, nickel backs in the entire country. Tremendous length at 6'1", 195 pounds. You saw it with an interference earlier, a few plays ago. That time makes a big play there on 3rd down. And they're bringing their field goal unit out here.
Be content here to cut the lead to 13. 70-yard drive. Did take 5 minutes. Have to be alert for a fake. Again, the fake punt earlier was snuffed out. And the field goal unsuccessful. And the problems continue in that department. And they send out Jeter, who had come through with the clutch kick against Penn State. And the play clock winding down. It seemed kind of hectic at the end. The timing was off. And the Irish come up empty. Blink. And it's still a 16-point game. Good moment earlier, the CFP director Richie Clark, Jimmy Pitaro, ESPN chairman, of course, Nick Saban and Terry Saban, two of my local Atlanta students. Great initiative by the CFP Foundation. ESPN proud to work with communities to help launch the initiative, help coaches and parents navigate the world of youth sports. So the lead is still 16. Ohio State with the football back. 9:27 on the clock. Sean Judkins, deflator for Notre Dame. Kirk, they finally get the takeaway that they've been looking for, that Freeman had been preaching for. They drive down the field, stall, elect to kick the field goal. It seemed kind of hurried, the team getting out there, and then you doink it.
Yeah, and my thought is it's just a matter of possessions. You know, with 9 minutes to go here, you get it to 13. In best case, if you're going to kick it, are you going to get the ball, you think, confidently back with Ohio State out just working clock, even with 3 timeouts to 2-minute timeout? And it puts a lot in your defense where, you know, you had a shot down in there close.
Howard breaking free and falls forward. Respect for Ohio State's goal line defense might factor in it. Ohio State players feel like it's gotten in opponents' head how tough they are to score on down there, and Freeman might have felt it was a low percentage play from the 7.
Yeah, probably so. Now Ohio State, like I said, they get the ball back, continue to run the football, get Will Howard, continues to be involved in this run game. 11 carries, 51 yards. Not in any hurry at all.
Leads the play clock almost all the way down, and then Judkins hammers forward for a solid gain of 4 yards.
We talked so much throughout this week, everybody did, about Jeremiah Smith and what, after the Texas game, 1 reception and 3 yards, what would Notre Dame do? And he's had the 1 touchdown, but just 4 receptions, only 5 targets, 4 receptions for 32 yards. It's been others. It's been Quinshon Judkins. It's been Will Howard. We've seen Trevion Henderson at times, Emeka Ibuka.
It's been spread around, but you add it up, 375 total yards against this defense. Judkins knocked down at the 40 by Drake Bowen.
I think that's the thing, that if Ohio State goes on to win this after that Michigan game, think of the defenses that they played. Tennessee, we talked about Tennessee's defensive line all year, how great they were in that defense overall, one of the top 5 or 10 in the country. They knocked that one down. Oregon, we know what Oregon can do with Dan Lanning. They take care of Oregon. Texas, one of the best defenses in the country. They go through Texas. Notre Dame, you look at the numbers that Notre Dame's put up. One of the best defenses in the country. So that's what's been amazing. It's not just they're putting up numbers, it's the defenses that they've been facing and the ability to be versatile in how they attack.
Brilliant on third down, 8 of 9 until that incompletion to Smith. So the Irish do get a stop, and they'll get the football back. First punt of the evening for Ohio State. Yeah, they've been able to play their best at the end of the year against the best competition. That's why they're closing in on a win here.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, they played their best, and they executed it their best against the best defenses they faced after that Michigan game.
Joe McGuire, the Aussie, they're watching 16 time zones away. The Irish are going to move around. Can they come up with a tricky block here? They try to come at you from different angles. McGuire gets it away coolly and drives Perlman back. He's a sure-handed receiver, never drops the ball, rarely breaks a long one, and brings it to the 20-yard line. That was a nice job. 51 yards on the punt. Notre Dame, 6:25 to work with, still needing a couple touchdowns as Goodyear provides our aerial coverage tonight, taking innovation to new heights for a century. Happy 100th to the Goodyear blimp.
The CFP National Championship is presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. And in part by Taco Bell. And Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Here's the sequence of plays that sparked a potential turnaround for Notre Dame. It's Greathouse getting loose here. Finally, the passing game produced an explosive play. That was the first part of it. Then they had to create the turnover, and Drake Bowen punches the ball out of Ibuka, and they have a nice drive going.
Yeah, they got the ball back. Here's a 4th and 5. Once again, we see Greathouse make a play. They got a penalty, got him closer, and then a tough decision for Marcus Freeman. Elects to go for 3 to cut it to 13. Off the upright. They don't get any points. Their defense comes up with a stop, so they do get the ball back, but just 6:25 to go. Still have all 3 timeouts.
Even had you made the field goal, you're still down 2 scores at this point. As it is, 80 yards from the end zone. Jeremiah Love in the game. He's blocking for the quarterback instead of touching the ball. A nice job by Leonard to buy time and then find Collins across the middle, and it gets the drive going with the first down.
He's done a nice job. Ohio State's determined to make him play from the pocket, and there's been times when things have really caved in on him, and he's done a nice job of locating downfield open receivers.
Mitchell Evans bumped down after a short gain. Leonard has shown toughness really throughout. That opening drive was epic. I don't care what happens from here on. We're never going to forget that. No. Then obviously a rough patch, and now he's continuing to show that grit and that calm in the pocket.
Absolutely. Ohio State, obviously, they are in keep everything in front mode, keep everything in bounds.
Across the middle, Evans, first down, Moore, still rumbling. Big fella deep into Ohio State territory, and the Irish got something going here.
Boy, he is such a talented tight end for his size. Mitchell Evans, again, out of Ohio, finds a soft spot. This is what's amazing. This guy's 260 pounds. He's running away from those safeties. What a play.
33-yard chunk. Exactly what they needed. It could not be a methodical drive. Had to happen quickly here. Leonard steps up, and he'll be swallowed. JT Tuimoloau got him. Continues to be a major force on the edge in this CFP. Limps off, a little slow to get up, and now back down, holding that left foot or ankle.
Yeah, up again. What a matchup it's been all night with he and Jogusall, the left tackle. And I think the job that they did downfield with the coverage allows JTT eventually to be able to get to the quarterback.
It's the second sack for this Ohio State defense. They pressured Leonard frequently. Ends up being a 2-yard loss, and while they attend to JTT, we'll step away. 4:40 left. Ram Trucks post game coming up. Obviously the trophy presentation. We'll hear from the winning side. Tuimoloau, by the way, very quick stop in the Ohio State injury tent. He's right back out there. Can't play this play, but had his helmet back on and looked ready to go. Got to sit one out. 2nd and 12 after that short sack. Leonard quickly to the edge on a slant, and Collins knocked down very effectively. Denzel Burke made a nice play to limit to a 3-yard gain, 3rd long.
Needs serious urgency here. You and I were talking at the break. You have all 3 timeouts. If this is going to happen for Notre Dame, they need to convert, but they got to score before that 2-minute timeout.
Pressure, Leonard launching, great house, but it's a catch! Touchdown, Notre Dame! The flag will be picked up. Jordan Hancock in coverage. What a ball! And what a catch by #1, and the Irish very much alive.
Unbelievable effort here by this Notre Dame offense to give themselves a shot. It's got to hit this 2-point conversion, but the slot fade to Greathouse, who just continues to shine here in this second half. 5 receptions, 111 yards now. He was able to separate and make that play up against Jordan Hancock. And as you said, Chris, I don't think I've seen a better ball thrown tonight by either quarterback. Right over the shoulder, drops it in the bucket for the touchdown.
What do you like from 3 yards away to make this a 1-possession game?
But the quarterback's legs always a factor with Riley Leonard. Going to that 2 tight end look.
Jarian Price is the back. Leonard under center, and they try to get it to Faison on the end around. He throws it and makes it. Caught by Collins. And the Irish back within 8 with plenty of time left. Talk about guts, grit, and resolve.
And Lou Holtz is fired up. Notre Dame doing what they needed despite that field goal that doinked. This is a touchdown in the middle. The slot fade. That's a really good receiver against a really good defensive back. Interference waved off. Ball's thrown, the focus there with that left arm to bring it in by Greathouse for the touchdown. And how about the call on the 2-point conversion? There's a really good look at it there from the AT&T connected cam. That's a touchdown for the Irish. And then the 2-point conversion.
We talked about the skill, the brilliance as an athlete. Faison, the 2-sport guy. Throwing is in his repertoire, right?
That's right. Bo Collins is up there. You know, he's on that play side. The entire Ohio State defense thought they had the play stopped. They came up to take Faison. Nobody stayed in the back to Bo Collins, and they easily get the 2-point conversion to cut it to 8.
Chad and Heather Leonard say, wait a second. Everybody else counted us out. You can understand why. And in the linebacker lounge, that's a legendary spot in South Bend. I might have been in there a time or two back in the day.
Yeah, I bet you
I'm not sure these folks can believe it.
There's Lou Holtz.
All of a sudden, you saw the look on Ryan Day's face. I don't think he can believe that they're only up 1 score now.
Remember, they have all 3 of those timeouts.
He booted along the ground. We haven't had a kickoff return tonight. And this will be a very short one, stopped at the 23.
I barely got the sentence out of my mouth about they have to score if it's going to happen before the 2-point or before the 2-minute timeout. And the very next play, touchdown. They got it with 4:10, 3 timeouts, 2-minute timeout. Now, what does Ohio State, Chip Kelly and Ryan Day do? They've been somewhat conservative here with the big lead in the second half. What's the approach here with the quarterback who you trust? An offense, many times, been able to move the ball at will. What do you go to?
You got a lot of options. Kelly does, certainly as a play caller. The ground game has been effective. Howard has been efficient, just 4 incompletions tonight. But all of a sudden, under some pressure here. Judkins has been a reliable option. It's a solid first down gain.
Chip Kelly going with a 3 tight end look there. There he is right in the middle. The former UCLA head coach who came over to join Ryan Day is the offensive coordinator and play caller. So much on the line right here with the decision making. He went with 13 personnel, 1 back, 3 tight ends to run the ball in that opening play. Now he changes the personnel groupings, gets 3 receivers in.
3 of them off to the right. Ibuka next to Smith. It's a QB run. Howard gets loose. They gave up the edge, and the quarterback makes him pay for a first down across the 35. Picked up 8.
What a job, Chris, by Donovan Jackson, the left tackle. Tui Alamaka right there trying to set the edge. He gets down, makes it a little bit easier. And once again, it's Will Howard's legs that make a big play. Again, you forget about his ability to make enough, just a few plays with his feet, and he does it again.
8th first down gain with his legs tonight.
And Jordan Clark is down, but being helped off the field. Good to see.
By scoring so quickly, your point was a good one, and having that 2-minute timeout to work with. Irish didn't need to get the stop there, but Ohio State stringing together a couple of first downs here would make it a very urgent situation for Notre Dame.
Well, you also, if you're Notre Dame, you got a lot of momentum after the score. You got the crowd buzzing. If you're a defense and you're thinking about trying to make this a reality, you really don't want Will Howard making plays with his legs. This defense has made so many plays this year for Al Golden and Marcus Freeman. Can they make another one to get Riley Leonard the football with a chance to tie this game?
Hurd, the fullback in the game, to the right of Howard. The Irish fans making some noise for a change. Keeper all the way, and he's tripped up. Flying in to make the play was Adon Schuler. Grabbed him behind the line. A loss.
Chris, a quick giveaway is I'm a safety, and I see this right here. That's the guy that hasn't carried the ball, Patrick Gert, all year. He's a great blocker, so the safety comes around. He's anticipating. Listen, they're running the quarterback. Gert's in the game. He's going to block. It's basically a 3 tight end look, so he cheats, overcommits to the run game of the quarterback, and comes up with a big play right at the line of scrimmage.
And that loss makes it a smart move for Freeman to spend the first of his timeouts here. Still plenty of time if they can get off the field in this series. It's an incredible thing. 24 points, 3 scores down midway in the 3rd quarter. By far the biggest deficit. The only loss they had this year was by 2 points. And then they had a bunch of double-digit wins. They had not been forced to even think about coming from behind like that.
And what doesn't show up there is, well, Howard's family looks on. What doesn't show up there is Ohio State had pretty much moved the ball at that point in the game up and down the field. Really hadn't been stopped. So not only
here now, do you throw it if you're Kelly? Do you have to get a little bit less conservative?
Yeah, I think you do. I think it's a high percentage kind of throw. You know, where you try to create, if it's man, you create a rub. You try to create some space. You got to trust your quarterback, which I think Chip Kelly has proven that he does, to make a good decision. More of a traditional formation now with the 3 receivers and Trevion Henderson.
It's a Ibuka motion. Smith is to the far right. Irish show pressure, crowd the line. Another quarterback keeper. The safest of calls. Predictable perhaps, and Drake Bowen drops him for another loss.
Yeah, I think they went with the change up in formation to make this defense think there was a chance it might be something else. But look at the defenders. I mean, you talk about selling out. They've got everybody at the line of scrimmage, leaving the corners on an island, just thinking that, hey, Ohio State's going to run the football. They want us to use our timeouts. And again, it pays off. That aggressive approach pays off. Looked like Will Howard. That ball looked like it bobbled there on that first hit.
So another timeout spent. Still got the 1 left in the 2-minute timeout. At 3rd and 11. Ohio State's been so effective and efficient converting 3rd downs tonight. Notre Dame could not get a stop for the longest time, desperately needing one here. Still no touches for Jeremiah Smith here in the 2nd half.
So kind of movement or pressure Al Golden comes up with. They do not want Will Howard sitting back there with time to throw. See the backers are moving. Here they come.
Heavy pressure. Howard delivers downfield. And Smith, he's got it! Jeremiah Smith hadn't had a touch in the second half until that potential game clincher. First down at the 10.
Oh, they went 0, meaning they blitzed 7. They left everybody on an island, and Ohio State thinks that's a mismatch with Jeremiah Smith against anybody. Not only that, but the corner, Christian Gray, gave him a cushion. Didn't jam him, didn't press him. Just sat back and let Jeremiah Smith run freely off the line of scrimmage. Will Howard's family, all the Buckeye fans, LeBron James, I think they're tasting victory, including that man right there, Ryan Day, after that throw by Will Howard and a big conversion on third down.
57-yard strike. It was the cat and mouse game all night. How do you play number 4? Zone, man, they gambled there on third long. Smith made it pay.
Coming up on SportsCenter after the game, we will be joined by the winning head coach. Take you live to the trophy presentation. Visit with one of the star players of the game. The big man, Stanford Steve, is here as well with the worst beat of the year in college football. Chris Fallon, the man who gave birth to the phrase significant to some, and Herbie. And that throw to number 4 is significant in this one.
Love it.
Well, the folks will be watching how this plays out because it's pretty interesting. I formation for Ohio State. It's first and goal. And a whistle before the snap, and they'll be backed up 5.
Ohio State move
Before
left
the snap,
side.
Ball start. Offense number 85. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So here's how this is likely to play out, Kirk. Would you agree? They'll run a ball here, and then Notre Dame will spend the final of the 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a game of math and watching the clock.
Hey, with the play call that Chip Kelly just called, you think they're just going to work the clock here, right? But you never know. It's conventional wisdom, that's for sure, especially with this formation. Run the football.
Judkins knocked down. And there will be the quick whistle. And final timeout taken. So
go back and look at that play call again on third and 10 here, Chris. Soft coverage by Gray. Look at the throw here by Will Howard. Notre Dame rolled the dice, hoped that the 7-man pressure would get to him. Will Howard with a throw of his life at that moment right there. Maurice Clarett, the former Ohio State Buckeye right there.
He's been an important part. Invited back into the fold by Ryan Day. And Will Howard talked about how important Clarett was to him. He told him the message was have fun again. Get back to having fun. There's Marina's mom. After that loss that everybody's attacking, and Clarett said have fun with football. And Howard told us that was a very important message here at that moment from Clarett.
And Clarett helped UConn basketball, in their run to a championship, and he's going around for years talking to colleges, but now he's just there to help these players, just understanding that some of the challenges they face being student athletes at Ohio State.
So no more timeouts. Freeman cannot stop the clock. Smith is singled up to the left and said they're just going to run it, and now begin to play the 40-second play clock game. They don't have to snap it again until a minute 13. That would make it 4th and goal.
Yeah, you figure a play takes anywhere from 3 to 5 seconds depending on how long it is, so that'll get it down to about a minute, take it down to probably around 20-25 seconds or so.
Obviously a chip shot seals it, makes it an 11-point game. You just have to guard against the block. They haven't had a kick blocked all year, have the Buckeyes. And they'll just let it wind down, use every second of the play clock, and spend one of their own timeouts. Tell you what, Jeremiah Smith's made some electric plays. The first 2 playoff games there right off the bat, right? They find the end zone on the first possession, quiet against Texas, and that end of game situation, that single coverage when he says, "He can't be guarding me one-on-one," that doesn't work. It didn't hurt Notre Dame that much tonight, really. He was quiet until that crucial play, and he couldn't be covered in that case.
Yeah, he's reenacting the play with his fellow receivers down there and telling them what he did. I mean, Notre Dame, they had to bring pressure. They had to take a chance. They haven't left Smith out there on an island too much, and one of the few times they did, the Buckeyes and Will Howard make them pay with a perfectly thrown football. See Brian Hartline, the receiver coach, who really does such an incredible job of running that room, recruiting and developing. So many great players have come through there, and trying to, with a true freshman, just encouraging him, telling him to stay focused here in the last minute 13.
So a third down play, Kirk, assuming they do run it, likely to run it back to the left, to the middle.
Chris, real quick, here's Jeremiah Smith right here.
Keeper, don't even risk a handoff, and Howard goes to the right and ducks under the tackle of Schuler. You start the clock, and it's going to be down around 25 seconds, 30 seconds.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to just run it down again and let it go to 1 second, call their last timeout. Go down to about 28.
Jaden Fielding had a little slump, missed a couple against Michigan. The misses are magnified against the maize and blue, but he bounced back and has been rock solid since then in the playoff. Very solid. And
Notre Dame's been blocked. They blocked the most kicks in the entire country.
That's true.
Six this year.
They do. Ohio State hasn't had one blocked, but that's a strength for Notre Dame. And with 29 seconds to go, Texan is on the field there. You got to look at the importance of everything. It's a great story. Fielding's older sister Madison was a soccer player. She's sitting in class. They come in and fetch her. It's the sheriff in town and the athletic director. So we've noticed you play soccer well. Come kick for the football team. This is like in 8th grade. And Jaden's a much younger brother at the time. He got so inspired by the fact that Madison kicked for the football team that he kind of took up kicking. He's basically a soccer player first. That's a cool story.
It is.
Not often to hear a big sister inspiring a guy to take up football, and now Fielding for the final punctuation of this game to make it an 11-point game from 33 yards. You miss it, and the Irish have hope. It's good. And Ohio State is going to walk out of Atlanta national champions. Marcus Freeman's team showed the trademark toughness and grit, resolve. The odds looked impossible, and in the end the lead was a little too much to make up, but man, they showed some grit.
They sure did. Yeah, they fought back the way they have all year, but this is really about Ohio State. It's about Ohio State overcoming some of their own adversity, obviously, at the end of the year, and getting on a determined 4-game run led by that man right there. He made it clear when the dust had settled after the Michigan game. He brought them in together and said, guys, we've got 4 to go, not 1. We're going to be together for 4 more games. Let's embrace each other. Let's keep fighting. And it's led him all the way to the finish line to a national championship. Pretty amazing.
He beat Tennessee, kept saying a lot of football left. Beat Oregon, a lot of football left. Beat Texas, just 1 game left. But it wasn't easy tonight. And you saw Ryan Day. We've talked about the masterful job that he did getting his team to reset, and he's going to join that list of Ohio State national championship coaches. Paul Brown, Woody Hayes, Jim Tressel, and Urban Meyer, and now Ryan Day. He's in that club.
How good does that sound, man? I'm a friend of his. I'm very objective and try to be as fair as I can be, but I hear the stories behind the curtain. I know what he and his wife and his family go through, and it's really it's tough, man. It's tough to be a coach at a premium school where you're expected to win every game. He handled it with such class, and he gets on top of the mountain.
Leonard to Love, who swarmed and dropped behind the line. We'll see if that is final play. The longest, toughest postseason climb in the history of the sport. And after all that, it's Ohio State together at the mountaintop, champions of college football. Massive respect between these two tremendous leaders. Ohio State won the first national championship in the playoff here of the 4-team bracket 10 seasons ago. Now with the newer, bigger bracket, the job harder to do. And again, it's Ohio State, last team standing. And Ryan Day, a national champion with Holly.
Well, Coach Day, the Irish have gained momentum. There's 2 minutes left, and you've got 3rd and long. What was the play call to Jeremiah that sealed this game?
It was a go ball on the outside with a couple options. If they played one-on-one on the outside, we were going to take our shot. They did a great job of game planning us, and Will made a huge throw, and Jeremiah made a huge catch to seal the game.
Trust has been unbelievable with this group all season long. Why have you all trusted each other? The Woody against the world to win a national championship.
Well, the story gets to get told now, and it's a great story about a bunch of guys who have just overcome some really tough situations. And there's a point where there's a lot of people that counted us out, and we just kept swinging and kept fighting. It's the reason why you get into coaching, is to see guys overcome things, learn life lessons, and then reach their dreams. This is what happened tonight.
You talked about the story being told. This team had to have resilience to write the perfect ending. What have you seen from this group in the hard times, in the moments that were hard, that got you here?
Just sticking together, having each other's back. Faith is huge with these guys. And we built the foundation early in the season that we knew we were going to have to withstand some storms along the way. We did. We stuck together. We hung in there like a family does when things get hard. And we came out the back end. And now this just gives so much credibility to what these guys did all season. I'm so proud of them.
I know you don't want to think about yourself, but for you, you've also been through a storm. How have you stood tall and led these young men?
Yeah, they're my motivation. My family at home, my wife and kids, and then these guys. That's why I get up in the morning every day. It's just to try to make sure these guys reach their dreams and goals. That's all it comes down to. And then also just show as an example, when things get hard in life, you just keep swinging as hard as you can, you fight. That's our culture.
National champions, baby! Come on, man! Let's go to Molly.
Well, you did it all today. Completing passes, running with the football. How would you describe the determination that you played with, especially when Notre Dame was threatening?
I mean, you got to give all the credit in the world to those guys, man. They fought their tails off, and we knew they were going to. We knew they were going to come back and give us a fight, man. But, you know, first and foremost, I got to give the glory and the praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, man. I wouldn't be here without him. I wouldn't be here without my teammates, without my family, without everyone that bet on me back in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, man, I'm at a loss for words right now.
Speaking of your teammates, Quinshon Judkins with 3 touchdowns, Jeremiah Smith with kind of a game-clinching explosive play. How was your offense in control all night?
Yeah, I think we did an unbelievable job on 3rd down and winning the situations. And, you know, we talk about all the time we have to be the hardest playing team in the country, and we got to execute. We got to grade out champions. And I think we did a heck of a job when it came down to it of executing and getting our job done.
Your team faced doubt just over a month ago. How did you use that adversity to elevate yourselves, make yourselves good enough for this stage?
It made us come together, and it really challenged us, man. Like, we were in a rough spot. And I just got to give all the credit to the guys in that locker room, man, for coming together and not letting that separate us, but letting it make us come closer. And I really don't think we'd be here if it wasn't for some of the adversity that we faced this year. And, man, it makes it that much sweeter.
You came to Ohio State to do something special. Now you're walking off this field a champion. How has this group and Coach Ryan Day changed your life?
I don't have words, man. They've changed my life in more ways than I can say, man. And Coach Day and these guys here have completely changed my life. And I just, you know, Coach Tressel said it when he talked to us, but I can't believe God gave me the chance to be a Buckeye. There's nothing like it.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Go Bucks.
Holly.
Well, I'm here with a young man that's been wearing a Buckeye bib since you were about 6 months old. How does winning a national championship soak into a kid who has lived this his whole life?
I can't even put it into words. It's the best feeling I've ever felt in my life. I mean, this is exactly what we had envisioned when we just all decided to come back, to go out and do it this way and end on this note. And we just thank God for giving us the ability to go out here and do it through the ups and the downs. He was with us right by our side, and we knew that. Overcame the adversity, and man, this just feels so good for this group of guys and this university and for Coach Day. I mean, it just means everything to me.
You just told me a second ago we knew where we were going to do this. How did you know?
Well, I mean, look, we went through some tough times together as a family, and we still knew who we were and what we were capable of. I shouldn't say we knew what we were going to do, but we knew what we were capable of. And we knew this was what we were capable of if we executed and put ourselves on the line every day in practice and trusted and believed in each other, and we did just that. And Coach Day and the coach did a great job putting us in positions to be successful this whole playoff run.
You and JT had a moment on the sideline, and he said to you, this is the last time we're ever going to play together. Let's leave it all out on the field. How have you two transformed and made the chemistry so great with this group?
I mean, that's my brother. You know, we've been through the ups and downs of playing this game at University of Ohio State, where the standard is excellence and being the best in the country. And it took us a while to kind of get our stride. And so, man, he was with me through the ups and downs, along with everybody else. That's why this feels so great, is because when everyone thought we were down and out, we knew we weren't. We knew we were still capable of. And I'm just so damn proud of the guys and thankful that God gave us opportunity to go out and do this.
All right, born to be a Buckeye, born to be a national champ. Jack Sawyer, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rowe.
Sawyer symbolizing the stalwarts, the veterans who hung around and waited and worked for this moment. The roster additions like Judkins and Howard, Caleb Downs, and the freshman Smith also playing a huge role. There's a lot more. We're going to have more analysis. We're going to have more interviews. The trophy presentation is coming up. Bill Bonnell produced the game. Jimmy Platt directed it. Special thanks to Operations Specialist Cindy Pennington, her entire technical team, and all of our crew here in Atlanta. Again, we'll step up for just a second and then much more to celebrate Ohio State's national championship victory here in Atlanta.
Thanks for watching a special presentation of ESPN, home of the College Football Playoff National Championship game, presented by AT&T.
And just like that, we're back with the Ram Trucks postgame. I promised you there'd be a whole lot more to talk about and hear from these Buckeyes. You know, Ryan Day told us yesterday he was keenly aware, as only the people inside that building could be, what a great story they had to tell. But you have to win the game, he said, to be able to tell the story. And they've done that. And he began to hint at what he was talking about. He's trying to escape the Gatorade bath, get that headset off of him, and just
throw it, get rid of it. Yeah.
Someone's got a souvenir. They're not going to let him get away that easy, though.
Oh, man, that's too good. Oh, he drilled him. Drilled him. Oh, that's the best Gatorade shower he's ever had.
Has there ever been a football team, given what goes into the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, that's gone from a darker, deeper low to 4 games later? You're right there. And
that's the family hug right there. His wife, 2 girls, his son, RJ. Special moment for them because, you know, the families, they go through the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
Probably more than the coach who's in the film room. So that was a great shot there.
Sawyer interrupted the interview. He was like an adopted son, his first recruit here.
Yeah.
There's a special relationship.
Chris, let's go back and one more time think about this 3rd and 11. Notre Dame with momentum. They blitz everybody. They play 0. Nobody on the back end to help the corner gray out. And Jeremiah Smith, as he has the entire postseason, these 4-game run, makes a clutch play. Chris said it was a lot of times early in games against Tennessee and Oregon. And here with the game on the line, the veteran Will Howard. Line gave him just enough time. He puts it up, and Jeremiah Smith comes down with it, and that was game, set, match.
Winning as the 8th seed. Seeds didn't mean much. They're favored in all their games, but they beat 2 SEC teams, sandwiched around, paying back the Big Ten champion Oregon Ducks, and then got a real battle for all 60 minutes from the Fighting Irish here. Ohio State fans, congrats on winning the championship. You can get all the official locker room merchandise right now at the CFP official online store.
That's powerful.
Emotions on both sides, powerful, no doubt, tonight. Much more to come here. Scott Van Pelt and company will play a part in that. Ohio State, last team standing. Picture of resilience. Scotty, to you.
Chris, thank you so much. We will continue with much more reaction here in Atlanta. Full breakdown of the game on the way. On SportsCenter, we'll take you inside what will be a jubilant Buckeye locker room. Coach Day and the winning quarterback, Will Howard, are going to join us as well. You've heard from them on the field, but it's always cool in those moments when the dust is settled and the sweat's dried a little bit to get the perspective as it really lands with them, just exactly what they've done. And you're waiting to see that live trophy presentation. That is coming as well. Ohio State are national champions. All that and more coming up on the Ram Trucks postgame, presented by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Somebody let me up! We tripled the size of the playoff. It's huge.
12 teams have an opportunity to win a championship.
You will see the best on display.
Welcome back to the Ram Trucks post game. Scott Van Pelt here in Atlanta. We've gotten to the finish line of this first 12-team playoff, and the last team standing, OHIO, national champions yet again. Tested, shaken after the loss to Michigan, but they roll to the title. And it's time to hand out the hardware and get it over to Reese Davis. Reese?
Scott, these Buckeyes have been patient. We're waiting for this trophy presentation. First, let me say congratulations to Notre Dame. They showed tremendous fight. But Ohio State answered every challenge, and the night is bathed in scarlet and gray. Ohio State, you're national champions. Now let's talk to the players of the game. First, the offensive player of the game from the national championship game is Will Howard. Will, where are you, man? Here he is. Will, you had your first 13 passes tonight. Amazing precision execution in the early going. How would you describe what the game plan was like right out of the gate?
Well, man, before I say anything, I just got to give my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, all the glory and all the praise, man. Amen. Amen. I wouldn't be here without all these guys in front of me, man, my family up there, everyone back in Downingtown. We came out and we talked about being the hardest playing team in the country and executing. And grading out a champion. I think we did an unbelievable job of executing tonight.
And the final play, the one that really decided the game, the long pass to Jeremiah Smith. Tell me what you saw.
Man, they were running man coverage, and I said, hey, I'm gonna go let this thing loose for number 4 and let him make a play on it, man. And that was an unbelievable play call, man. It took some nuts to call that, so that was a fitting way to end it.
while we were waiting to do this ceremony, I saw you standing in the back, looking to the sky. What were you thinking about?
It's just surreal, man. You know, when I came here, I talked about winning a national championship, and it's just surreal, man. God is so good, and I just love these guys. And man, I'm just so glad that God gave me a chance to be a Buckeye. There's nothing like it, man.
Congratulations, Will Howard, the offensive MVP. Now let's say hello to the defensive MVP, one of the leaders of this team, Cody Simon. Cody. Hey, the defense after that opening drive that Notre Dame had really shut them down for a stretch and allowed you guys to take control of this game. What was working for you defensively?
You know, we had that never give up mentality. You know, they had a good drive, but we come back and keep playing. Never give up, keep playing all the time. But I just want to say, the Lord did something special on this team, and we're just so thankful. Everyone on this team, we all bought in, and I just love every guy out here who put all the work in this whole year.
I think a lot of people saw, whether it was on social media or through the comments that you guys made in post-game interviews, about the spirituality on this team. What impact did that have on helping you play your best when your best was demanded?
You know, it brought us all together. We can all trust each other with our lives right now. And I think you saw it on the field. Everyone trusted everyone so much. We give 100% effort every play, and we just wanted to get a job done, and we got it done.
What was the feeling like when Notre Dame closed the game to one possession and you guys needed to make one more play?
Yeah, I mean, a little nerves, but I trust in our offense, trust in special teams, trust in the defense, because we put the work in all year. So I love all these guys out here. I appreciate all of them.
Congratulations, Ohio State national champion. And this second time we've bet on the trophy, another individual award for you. Congratulations. Now let's work through here. Where is Ryan Day?
Right there.
There he is. You're wet with the Gatorade bath. You won the national championship. How would you describe this moment?
Yeah, it's hard to describe. There really wasn't a lot of people that maybe saw this vision right here, right now, but this group of guys did. This group of seniors is very, very special, and now they're going to be able to tell their story because it is an amazing story.
It is, and you've given all the credit, deflected everything toward the players and what they've accomplished. But things change when a coach is a national championship coach. When do you think that's going to set in for you?
Oh, I have no idea. It's all about these guys and the journey they've been through, and I couldn't be prouder about a bunch of guys. And this is why you get into coaching, to see guys reach their dreams and goals after going through adversity. And nothing great has ever been accomplished without going through adversity. And we're going to have a good time tonight, and I know everybody in Columbus is as well.
Well, before we have the best time, let's get Rich Clark, the executive director of the College Football Playoff, to present the trophy.
Thanks, Reese. As we conclude this first ever 12-team college football playoff in front of these amazing fans and viewers around the world, I want to say congratulations to both of these teams for the character, the perseverance that you displayed, not just in the playoff, but throughout the whole season to get to this game. And now, on behalf of the conferences and the institutions that administer the college football playoff, it is my honor to present to you the 2025 College Football National Champion, Coach Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Scott, they wanted this badly. Everybody's wanting to get close enough to touch it. So I'm getting to the back. A championship night for Ohio State. Scott, back to you.
And then, what a scene and what a roar in this building from the incredibly passionate fan base from Ohio State. The Ohio State Buckeyes, national champions, the first of this 12-team era, and they knock off in succession Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, and finally Notre Dame. They stand alone, champions of college football.